Yasmina.
What's up, sluts?
We are here. It's party time.
It's party time part 2. Woo! What's
back.
up, motherfuckers?
And this is the 50th episode.
Hello.
Finally.
Half
Hello.
a century.
Yeah.
Half a century?
Hello.
Half a
How are
100.
you today?
Are you getting really
Half a
close?
century of which figure? It's been 84 years!
It would have been 50 years.
Yeah, but it's been 84 because of the pandemic.
Oh, fuck, seriously. Who was born in 84? What are you sluts?
No.
Oh.
We're
never mind.
82.
Oh.
We're
I keep forgetting. Anyway, we digress.
Anyways, holy fucking shit. What's up? Which finger are back. We are here and we're full of farts and burps, flatulence and gas.
We got beers, we got
Booze.
shots lined up.
Yep.
We're ready. And this
Yeah.
has been like a long time coming because there's a pandemic going on and things are starting to sort of let up. We all got our magical shots. So here we are together once again. Things were real rough for a while. For a long while, actually.
But good news. We're still funny. We're still funny. And yeah, we kind of got fucked by Lord Ford.
Lord Ford, let us record!
And yeah, for those of you who don't know, we live in Ontario, and Ontario is a literal dumpster fire because of our premiere. But we're not going to talk about that because fuck that guy. And yeah, so we're finally back, and it feels great.
It does.
Yeah.
Great, great, great.
Friday night at 8.
Hey,
I got
myself
myself
a
a date. She might be my mate. Good to be back.
Yeah, so, I guess I don't really need to introduce us, but if you want me
Yeah,
to,
please
I
do,
guess
because
I
it's been
could.
so long that people have forgotten.
Yeah, I know. I almost forgot to do that myself because I'm indulging in the whiskey. Mm-hmm.
Whiskey.
Yes.
Whiskey.
And my name is Yasmina, and to my right is Morgan,
Hello.
and to my left is Megan.
Hi.
And welcome to the Witch Finger Horror Podcast. And this is episode 50. And we are watching Return of the Living Dead Part 2.
It's us.
Part 2.
Part 2. Hot Shots Part 2.
Hot Shots Part 2.
It was much better than the first Hot Shots.
Yeah.
I don't remember those
I don't remember the
movies
first
at
one.
all.
I remember the second one, not the first.
Well, I don't know. I kind of thought Charlie Sheen was kind of cool.
That poster was iconic,
Yeah,
where
and
he
his-
was like
his, like,
firing
Rambo
a rubber
hair.
chicken.
Yeah,
Out
I
of,
was like dressed
his,
like Rambo. I remember
bow and arrow
that,
or
actually.
something.
Oh my, how times have changed.
All I think about is when Weird Al did the Rambo parody.
I sent Yasmina, funny enough, yesterday, Weird Al is out of the weird music industry.
So he's
dude,
just
that
Al
was
now?
satire. That
So
was
no,
satire.
it was true.
No, that's a joke.
You're lying. Did you read the whole article?
That's like been a running joke for a while.
Did you read the whole article? There's an article that Weird Al put out saying that he wants to make normal music, not weird music anymore.
I think it's a joke.
Okay, well, you know what? Fuck the internet, okay?
Well, but like, is he just Al now? Like, what do you do?
No, it's a joke. It's
No,
a
but
joke.
like, what would you if he was out of the
He's
weird
regular
business?
Al.
He's just Al.
regular Al.
He's just Al.
Worlds colliding.
Normal
regular Al.
No, but for real, we should really focus up and thank everyone for
Being patient.
accessing our archived episodes.
Yes.
It feels they're not archived truly, but it feels like we recorded them so long ago that they're like buried in the fucking catacombs of the internet.
Yeah, we're blowing the dust off.
But
the
everyone's
books.
been, throughout the pandemic, people were commenting about our episodes and how we're fucking making them laugh and
Oh, we're
keeping their
and
spirits
like
up.
also insinuating we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, like, you know
Where
what?
are you guys?
Where's the drama?
Oh, you guys aren't friends anymore. The truth is, we hate each other. Fuck you. Fuck you.
We just do this because it pays really well. That's a joke.
But like, yeah, we were talking about this earlier. A lot of of our listeners reached out and said that they missed us during the pandemic, and it sucked that we couldn't get together. Like, we did our mini-sodes remotely, and but it's been a really long time since we've actually recorded a full episode when we're all together.
And it's just not the same.
And
The mini-sodes are
true.
different. Like,
it's not the same vibe
we do our
at
best
all.
work when we're like in a room together. The whole point of this podcast is getting together and just having fun and doing what we love to do, which is watch movies and drink and just be pals. And so if we can't really be in the same space together, it's just not the same, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we feed off of each other. It's all about that vibe.
It's all about energy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of our listeners reached out and told us that they missed us and they had to go back and listen to older episodes to get their witch fix, and we really appreciate that. That's lovely to hear. But we are so happy to finally be back, and we're very happy to release a new episode on a fantastic movie that I actually haven't watched in a really long time, because to be honest, I'm more familiar with part 1 and part 3.
I know you have your thing about part 3.
I love part 3. I mean, don't get me wrong, the first one is classic, but the second one is a fantastic film, but it's, out of all of them, the one that I've watched the least.
You know what is funny about that fact? Morgan and I split an Uber on the way up, and we were talking about how the second movie is, you know, like the least popular or whatever in our lives anyways. And you know what's funny is the poster for this one is, to me, the most iconic of any of them.
For sure.
And I know you love the third, because the third, like, you love that chick. I remember you saying that, but like, it's absolutely such an iconic image that like
it doesn't
face
even
in
need the logo of the movie. It's just like a wicked fucking picture. Like, I remember looking at that shit in the fucking tape store.
Did you guys happen to get
the
like
rental place.
who did the art? Because I didn't see that in
No,
any of my
you know what?
research.
That would be a really interesting.
Somebody get back to us. Who did the art for the poster
Yeah,
of Return of the
please,
Dead
somebody
Part
on
tell
internet.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know, because I like, that's a piece of art I would hang on my wall. Like, it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, I masturbate to it. But yeah, the first Return of the Living Dead we did for our 25th episode.
Yeah, so it makes sense that we're doing this.
So we're doing
for-
part 2 for our 50th episode.
And in 25 episodes, we'll do part 3.
That's a great idea.
I'm drunk, and you know what I'm gonna do right now, because
Sing
I
opera. So,
I'm gonna drink some more. So we
2 mugs of alcohol.
Yeah, okay, so I have my regular drink, which is ginger ale, kind of dry, with whiskey, but we're gonna have some fun because it's our 50th, and fuck it. And I've got a mug of tequila here with a fucking fruit fly in it.
there's actually a fly in it?
Yes, they're everywhere.
Are you going to drink it?
It's gone now, so yeah. Actually, I'd probably still drink it if it was still in there.
Oh,
'cause I'm
you
fucking
like
You
gross.
don't even notice them.
So who wants to take a little?
Well, I'm going to take a
drink
shot, but I'm
with
going to take
me?
this shot right out of the bottle because I still have wine in my cup. I don't know
I'll
how
have
to...
a shot.
So what do you?
What do you want a shot of? I'm drinking Pink Whitney.
I'll drink that Whitney, that shitney.
Do you want Pink Whitney too?
Yeah.
Shitney!
I'll drink that shit.
Morgan, do you have water in your cup?
No, it's empty actually. Here.
Okay, let's do that.
Pour me a little.
I
just
have a
little-
question for our Americano friends.
Yeah.
Is Canada Dry the ginger ale you guys drink?
Yes,
Ah.
I've researched it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm fucking serious about my ginger ale. I can't live without.
It's not
ginger
just
ale.
called dry here, though. Like, you know, in Americans are always like, "Oh, Canadian bacon. Is it just regular bacon in
Bitch, you
Canada?
got me.
It's just dry.
It's just dry.
It's just dry here, guys. We just drink dry. We
Yeah.
Just, oh man,
Okay,
this is gonna
so-
be fucked.
This is
You-
going to be very
you-
acidic.
Y'all are drinking Pink Whitney.
So we're
and
drinking
I've got-
vodka, and
okay,
you're-
so that's vodka.
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
vodka.
that is. That is a hot commodity, that shitney. So I've got tequila that has been sitting in my apartment before I moved in.
It's
so
accumulated
we'll see.
fucking fruit flies.
And like you've
I
been
know.
here for like what, 3 years?
3 years. Yeah.
Hold on, let me try. I don't want to drink out of the bottle actually. Do you know what a fear that I have is? That my lips will get stuck to the bottle like that kid
When it's
from that
cold.
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I think you're okay. I don't think that's gonna
Then I'll
happen.
have to drink the whole bottle.
Oh my god.
It'll be like some weird
yeah.
like some society shit where like your lips are like pulling all long,
And he's
but
like,
you still have to like drink.
Okay.
All right,
Are we doing it?
cheers.
Cheers to 50
sluts.
episodes, guys. We made it. To
Cheers.
friendship, to Tom Matthews and James Karen.
Oh my god, I love the Tom Matthews Band.
You just had to say that when I had a fucking mouthful of tequila.
It almost sprayed out.
I'm not fucking with that. Get out of here, bitch.
This is not that bad either, this Pink Whitney. Anyways.
We'll see how we feel by the end of this episode. Let's
I wish
get
I could
into
hug
it.
all of you.
I know.
Who, me? Or like our
No,
listeners?
the fans.
She doesn't want to hug me.
That was a hard no.
Yeah.
No.
I just had a stinky burp. Ew.
Well, you know what I'm looking forward to? Cons. I can't wait to meet people
See some
and
faces. In person.
meet people, eat meat with people.
Eat meat with people.
And eat some people.
And then
Anyways.
people. And I feel like there's so much that has happened since our hiatus that it's impossible to know where to start.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a great episode. Okay, let me just get right into it. Return of the Living Dead Part 2 came out in 1988. It was directed and written by Ken Wiederhorn. And I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch it, but I watched the documentary.
Oh, I didn't know.
It was only like half an hour on YouTube, but all the producers, production designer, writers, marketing executives, special effects team all hated Tom Fox's approach for producing part 2 because they all hated the script as it was blatantly plagiarizing Dan O'Bannon's screenplay from part 1. So not a lot of people liked Ken's script. It was just very unoriginal because it was basically just a copy of Dan's original script, which was very unique. And Ken has also admit he is not a horror fan at all. He
I
does
did
not
read
like,
that he was kind of like, I did not
he
want to
hates
do it
the
like
horror
this.
genre, but he got offered to do it, and he was like just basically ambivalent towards
Yeah.
it. And
You know what's interesting about that? I found this fact very interesting. So that he didn't, because I saw that too, that he's not into the horror genre. But it wasn't written, and then he was like, okay, I'll make this fucking movie. He wrote it. Like, he's the writer-director.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, it's funny to me that someone would, like, reach out to him and he'd be like, I fucking hate horror. And it's not even a script or, like, a movie that was presented to him. He fucking wrote something he doesn't like.
Yeah, but
like, in the genre he doesn't
it's
like.
weird,
Do you know what I
though.
mean?
Yeah, it's weird though because like I mean I guess that because he got his start, like he directed Shockwaves and he also directed that Dark Tower, I think it's what it was called. Not the Dark Tower,
Right.
like not the Stephen
Clearly.
King one,
Yeah.
obviously. But Shockwaves is like considered it's the horror genre, like it's like zombie Nazis or whatever. And I've never seen Dark Tower, but the cover is fucking badass. It's like a high-rise building.
yeah,
That's
it's
like,
very much
into
like
the
the Fright
closet.
Night 2. The
Yeah.
Fright Night 2 cover is very
Yeah.
similar.
It kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of the premise of Poltergeist 2.
Yeah, like
No,
a-
Poltergeist 3.
Yeah,
Excuse
it's like
me,
some
Poltergeist
haunted
3.
like building
Yeah.
shit, I guess. I don't know, but maybe he was just concerned about being typecast in like that. I'm always going to direct low budget.
Well, basically,
horror
this is what
stuff.
happened. So Ken Wiederhorn used to be an editor at CBS.
Yeah, he was a news
was
guy.
like a reporter, and he originally had always wanted to be a documentary producer, but he didn't have a degree in journalism. And at the time, that's basically what you needed to be successful, I guess, in like documentary making, whatever. But he, at the time, when he was offered Return of the Living Dead Part 2, I think it's just like there's a universal like acceptance in the film industry that like you gotta just like
Oh, I get it.
get whatever work
Yeah.
that you get offered, you know what I mean? Because it's really tough in the business. When he got offered to co-write Shockwaves, at the time he was like, I'm not a horror guy, but I'm gonna do it because I
It's
have
work.
to pay my rent.
And it was his first
and
thing, right?
Shockwaves is an incredible. I actually personally find Shockwaves not a horror movie. I think it's more of a suspense thriller.
It's iconic, though.
It's such a fucking moody movie, and the soundtrack is horny.
Hornet!
I love it. The
Horny.
soundtrack
Miss Horny.
is so fucking good.
But but it's also weird. Maybe I'm getting conflicting information. We all know how the internet works.
yeah, that's true.
Whatever you look for, you will find, right? But I found that this was not written as a sequel. However, if he was approached to write a sequel to The Return of the Living Dead, what do you mean it wasn't written as a sequel? Do you see how I'm getting conflicting information?
Yeah, no, I agree, because I did also see that the script was originally not written as a sequel to Return of the Living Dead, but then it was like, well, we're only gonna like finance it if
it's part of the series. So what did they approach him by saying, we need you to create? Obviously they didn't if it wasn't written for that purpose. So what did they approach him and say?
So this is
Do you
the
know what I
information
mean?
that I got in my research, and this is why I like watching documentaries, because they're interviewing these people and like you can get the better kind of story, I guess. But basically, Ken Wiederhorn, he directed Meatballs 2, and the original script wasn't intended to be a sequel to Meatballs, but it was a horror comedy about a kid who had a run-in with zombies, but the studio changed it. And so he ended up directing Meatballs 2, but then that original script turned out to be the script for Return of the Living Dead Part 2. So the studio just takes control in these situations.
The info that I have was that the producer, Tom Fox, was interested in his story and he liked that script, but he said he would only finance it if he agreed to make it part of this series.
Yeah.
So it turns out that he had the idea, he'd written it before, then somebody said, well, make the tweaks, we'll add it to the Return of the Living Dead
It's funny,
series.
though, if for
And
someone
then-
who says he's not into horror, he clearly wrote something that was a
it's-
horror.
I mean, zombies, I know it is technically a horror comedy, but it's still horror based, right? Like anything with zombies usually is going to be put into that genre.
In the realm of, I mean, it's dead bodies coming back to life. What else
Yeah.
could it be, right?
Dead bodies.
Dead bodies.
But you know what?
Dead
I don't know.
bodies.
Like, in going back to what you were talking about before, Yasmina, about how, lots of people are like, oh, well, it's just kind of like so derivative of Dan O'Bannon's original, the whole Return of the Living Dead, the first one. I kind of like think that that's the most endearing part of this, is that like, because James Karen and Tom Matthews are back, but they're different characters. But it's so self-aware. They're like, we've been here before.
Yeah.
You know
They
what I
talk
mean?
about
Like,
that in the
it's
documentary.
What's that? That's like tongue in cheek.
Yeah, exactly.
Tongue-in-cheek,
And so
yeah.
it's like it's very self-aware, and I think that it's endearing because it's the same people, but it's different people. It's the same story, but it's a different story. And that's what makes them fun.
And cult fans love that.
Yeah, and I personally, especially the first movie, but I think that duo of James Karen and Tom Matthews, like I watched Return of the Living Dead last night, and I was just like, these motherfuckers are so
They're like
cute
best
together.
friends.
Yeah,
they're
they're
cute
so
together.
cute.
Yeah.
And they have such good chemistry, and I bet you in real life they actually, I didn't read anything, but I bet you they got along. They look like they were pals.
The only reason why Tom agreed to do the sequel was because Jimmy was doing
Really?
it. Like,
Oh,
and
I love those
they're
little
all,
bromances.
yeah, like they have a bromance for sure. But I just want to go back to Ken and his career. After he quit his job at CBS, he then directed a movie called Eyes of a Stranger with Jennifer Jason Leigh, and that was actually her first movie.
Oh, yes.
And I've never seen this movie, but I really want to watch it. The cover is very nostalgic. But Eyes of a Stranger gained, this is a very interesting fact, gained interest from Brian De Palma. And Brian De Palma offered Ken to write and direct Body Double based on De Palma's treatment. But then De Palma just decided later on that he just changed his mind and he was like, I'm just going to write it and direct it myself. But it's funny that Ken almost fucking directed Body Double, which is a masterpiece. So I'm curious how that would have turned out, but I'm glad that De Palma did it because that movie is just perfection.
Yeah, the stuff that I read was that he actually worked on an early draft of the script, but then he didn't get any on-screen credit for that portion that he actually helped with the Body Double script.
Yeah.
So-
So he also, there's a scene in Meatballs 2 where the kids are watching Shockwaves. I find that very funny.
That's cool.
Have you seen Shockwaves?
Yeah, oh
Megan?
god, yeah. Yeah.
That movie is so fucking good. I just don't think it's horror. I just think it's more of a thriller suspense. And fucking Peter Cushing.
I tend
he's
to
awesome.
lump them together though. To me, thrillers, when you're on Netflix, even though Netflix sucks
Yeah.
with a lot of that kind of stuff, but I feel like most of the time when I want to watch a horror, I in fact look under thrillers. Because a lot of my favorite horror movies
Because they're psychological.
are classified as thrillers. But like to what you're saying, you know, you don't think Shockwave is a horror as much as it is a thriller. In my mind, they're all under the same umbrella. Like they're all very tightly knit. Like horror, thriller, even mystery.
They are tightly knit.
I find even mysteries kind of fit into the horror realm because mysteries are typically about, you know, like a murder or something stolen or something missing or
something.
ghosts.
Anything
Yeah,
that like
still
is
scary.
like makes the audience uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. To me, is horror.
Yeah.
Totally. Because
Yeah.
they say like Silence of the Lambs is technically a thriller, right? But it's every horror movie lover's top 10. You know what I mean? It's like hard to differentiate.
Yeah, well, I
Because
think
it's like a crime thriller or
I
whatever,
think a
right?
lot of people just associate like horror with like slashers and blood and guts and
Right.
like that's the special effects, like the real heavy, like
Right.
bloody kind of movies, and that's not always what it is. And so if it doesn't have that, then it's a thriller.
I
Well,
think
it's
that
still horror.
thrillers and
Yeah.
suspense and mystery just
Suspense
have
as well,
better
yes.
writing.
I agree.
And
Well, I don't know.
um,
There are some really good fucking horror movies.
That's true. No, I agree. I
don't
totally
know.
agree. But there's just the atmosphere is different.
Sure.
But
Although, Don't Breathe. So Don't Breathe 2 is coming out
Oh.
pretty soon. The first Don't Breathe is a thriller, right? You'd say it's a thriller suspense, I'd say. Mm-hmm. Don't Breathe scared the shit out of me. I didn't sleep for like 2 days. So
Yeah.
for me, it's a horror.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean,
Like, you
I would
just don't-
classify it as a
makes
horror
sense.
movie.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he turkey basted a woman's vagina. That's horrific.
But that is the worst. Ew, 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 ew,
turkey
ew,
based
ew.
vaginas.
Nice and juicy for you.
Yeah. Well, Ken, Mr. Wiederhorn,
I can't with this
so yeah, we were talking about Dark Tower. He co-directed and co-wrote Dark Tower, and that is a hard fucking VHS to find. It is not common. And yes, the cover is very much like the Fright Night cover with the apartment building. But it's funny that he alleges that he never actually directed it, as he stated that he never set foot on that set. He only just wrote some of it. That's what he says about Dark Tower.
Megan, did you just like inhale your shot?
No, I'm sorry. I drank my drink like it was a glass of wine, but it's straight liquor.
Oh, whoopsie.
And like it's
Shitney.
yeah, it really
He's
like
going down the wrong tube.
holy fuck, man, that nearly killed me. Did you take your whole shot? Did I pour too much? Because I've already had a shot.
I actually have some more still in my cup here.
Oh, okay, good.
I took a half of it.
Well, you know what? It's Saturday night. I'm gonna drink some more tequila.
Yeah.
Guess what,
we will-
internet? We suck at doing shots.
Yeah. It's been a while.
To digress from the information portion, the information station of our podcast, the zombies are quite literally, there was one that was rolling out of the grave. Like, literally did a barrel roll, like, came out and, like, rolled.
I love that so much.
That's why this movie is so fucking
Actually,
funny.
and like when I watched the documentary, like I was reminded of the differentialities between the zombies of part 2 and part 1, and they put way more work into the special effects in part 2.
Really?
Like, all the zombies are played by the same group of actors, but they all, like, have you seen the picture of the kid that's, like, standing in front of the 50 different, like, zombie heads? It's, like, a behind-the-scenes shot.
Oh, that sounds cool.
It's, like, crazy how many different, like, zombie faces, like, they made for part 2. But, yeah, so Ken also directed a bunch of Freddy Nightmares episodes. He wrote one as well, and he directed a couple 21 Jump Street episodes.
Yeah.
He's gotta cut your teeth on that. There's
Yeah, and he's
always that
also
somewhere in there.
directed a lot of episodes of a show called Dark Justice. It's like a law show, and Bruce Abbott from Reanimator is a
okay.
main character in it.
Cool, I've never heard of that.
But
actually.
yeah, no, I know, me too. It's funny because as soon as I researched it, it just started popping up fucking everywhere.
Weird.
Like I was like, there's that Dark Justice show. And there's one movie that Ken alleges is the only really good movie he's made, and it's called A House on the Hills.
Okay.
It's got Michael Madsen and Helen Slater
Okay.
in it.
Michael
and
Madsen, that's
out
cool.
of his like career, like he's like basically that's like the only really good movie that I did. That's me, Mr. Wiederhorn. That's what I talk like.
You're lying. Oh, you are lying. Oh.
Regular Al.
Regular Al! Fuck, man, I fall for. I'm the most gullible motherfucker on the planet. Holy
So we just watched the
shit.
part where Brenda punches the zombie right in the face, and the goo
And
comes
it
out in her
smushes out.
fist.
Yeah,
I
no, this
fucking love
movie
that
is
part.
so fun, and it's funny that
You're fun.
You are. It's funny that you said that this is one that you never watched that much, because I feel like I've probably seen this one as many times as I've seen the first one, which is a lot of fucking times. I don't know, there's just something nostalgic about this one. And this in particular, this one is where he talks about her brains being spicy.
I
and
know,
like
you love
yo,
that.
That shit fucked me
You
up when I was a
fucking love
kid. I don't
that.
know why. There's a couple things about this whole like series, like those, remember the split dogs in the first one?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I watched it last night and I felt ill, like I was 5 years old again. Like,
The Split Dogs, where did they redo that? Resident Evil.
did they do that?
Yeah, Resident Evil has
my
Split Dogs as
God.
well, and it's not as cool, and I'll tell you why, because they're split in a different way, but they're also entirely CGI, entirely,
dude,
right, and
yeah.
like practical effects for life, obviously.
It was real fucked
But
up.
I feel like you know what? Maybe that's why these zombie movies are so much more enjoyable to watch. Like,
I
because
agree.
They're like cartoons. Like these zombies we're watching right now, like they're humans, obviously, but they're
Yeah.
animated. Like they're literally like cartoons. Like
I
they're
love it.
real cartoons. And in the new zombie movies, everything's very serious.
Yeah, and they
everything
have-
is very
and
serious.
the people that they're gonna be having,
What's serious about zombies?
well, the Train to Busan.
yeah.
Oh, actually, I haven't
Very,
seen that.
it's
Yeah.
incredible.
I heard it
it's
was
so
amazing.
fucking good. But that's what most zombie movies are like right now.
Yeah.
Very serious. Very like this could really happen. I mean, talk about coronavirus, right?
Yeah.
Like who knows what kind of viruses are out there.
Yeah.
But that's why I like this one and this whole series, because it's. I was saying to Morgan earlier, because it's all the government's fault, which is my favorite.
Yeah, it's
This
the
is all like
toxic
government chemical
trioxin shit. Yeah, the chemical.
fucking love that shit.
man. He's
But, like-
injecting us with toxins. We're all gonna turn into zombies.
Daddy Gates.
Daddy Gates!
Giving
We're
us
gonna
the
fucking
nanobots.
turn into the undead vaccines.
But like all these guys that are playing the zombies are like you're saying, they're like almost cartoonish, because
Yeah.
it's like they're super like character
They're
actors.
overacting, right? I love that.
And like the dude that plays Tarman, I'm sure we can talk about him a bit later
yeah.
as well, but he's Tarman in this one and in the first one, and he was like a puppeteer and like does kid stuff, but like he's like very, you know, if you're a puppeteer, you're gonna know all about like movements and
Right.
like things
Yeah,
that
he
are
worked
very
on
like
Jim
like-
Henson's,
yeah, he was in
like,
part of Jim
show.
Henson shit.
Yeah.
But so yeah, like you're gonna be over dramatic with your movements and stuff like that, and it's like it has a certain effect to it. Like it's kind of comical, but that's what zombies were like.
Come on, right?
Back in the 80s, like all the zombie movies like that were like everybody shuffling and
Yeah.
weird and fucking shit.
And they all have something funny.
Alan
It's like they all
Trotman is
died
the
in a
name.
very funny way. Like they're all like decomposing in a funny way, and like their limbs are falling
my
off as they like
God.
walk towards you, which is
Yeah.
hilarious. Yasmina is
Sorry,
like
I'm just
heating
getting
up
a
around
fucking,
the
no,
crotch
I'm
for
just
this
getting
guy.
a boner, man, like Bobby Briggs. Okay, here's the thing. I'm the Twin Peaks
I didn't write anything about.
connoisseur
I didn't write
of
anything
the
about this guy.
group, so I'm sorry to my other listeners of the Twin Peaks fandom. I will not bore my co-hosts talking about Twin Peaks for this entire fucking episode, but I digress. Holy shit, I am sorry, but like, he is such a fucking babe. I love Dana Ashbrook a lot, and every time he's on the screen, I heat up.
He's always got some like vest going on.
I love him, man.
Who,
He
Tom
is
Matthews?
So, fucking Dana Ashbrook.
I know, but like she's talking about his
Right?
vest.
No, I guess I
His
mean
Marty McFly vest.
I was gonna say like in it. What the fuck year was this? 88.
Yeah.
Why does everyone wear a fucking vest?
Because that's his Marty McFly vest.
Back
He's
to the
wearing the
Future,
exact
man.
same thing. Marty McFly wore his puffy vest.
Oh, I
and
was
then
gonna
he
say he's
changed-
not Marty McFly.
No,
I
but-
see what you're
But
saying.
like
Yeah.
that character, like the Marty,
He
like when he
changed
wears
the face of vest.
I
wearing
remember
for
like
the
After
entire
that movie
world.
wears
came
a
out,
vest.
everyone was fucking wearing those
That's what I
puffy
was thinking.
vests.
It looks exactly like it.
It's like there's kids walking around in t-shirts like it's a warmer climate, and then this guy's got a vest on,
Yeah.
like an
Yeah.
insulated.
Well, do you remember
puffy
when he
vest.
goes back to the 50s? Everyone's like making fun of it, and
They're
just,
like,
they're
"Why
like,
you
"Oh, is that a
wearing a
life
life
preserver?"
preserver? Yeah.
And like after that movie came out, everyone was fucking wearing them. I'm just gonna blame Back to the Future for the attire of Mr. Matthews. But I don't know. Who do we want to talk about? Jimmy, Tom, Bobby Briggs?
Hold on.
You were already kind of on the like.
Okay, let's talk
You
about
had your
Dana.
Dana.
Oh my god. Okay, so I love Twin Peaks a lot, and Bobby Briggs is probably like the sexiest motherfucker
Yes.
on that show. I love Dana Ashbrook a lot. He aged well. He's a
He did age
fucking
well. I'll
babe.
give him that.
He was just at the Mahoning.
Was
Not
he?
gonna get angry. I'm not gonna get angry. Yes, he was at the Twin Peaks,
Oh, right,
David
yeah,
Lynch
they
like
did
fucking
the-
weekend at the Mahoning, and he was there, and I was like, oh my god, I just want to SSD. I do want to S his D. And I'll tell you what, I think that me and Dana Ashbrook were like meant to be together in some parallel universe. Because don't laugh, his fucking wife is like my age, and she also has a crow tattoo.
And her
on
name is
back.
Yasmina.
And her name's Yasmina.
Oh. But I was like, oh my god, like his wife is the same age as me, and she also has a crow tattoo on her back.
Yeah.
Like that could have been me, maybe in some parallel universe. But he's just such a fucking cool, chill guy, IRL. And so Dana Ashbrook, I'm not gonna like go into Twin Peaks, but I will talk about his other work. But one quote of his that's like one of my favorite fucking quotes of his is David Lynch helped me be cool.
Aw.
I love that.
Aw, that's so nice.
Dana Ashbrook has two sisters. One sister is trans, and her name is Taylor, and she's a writer and a reporter. And his other sister, Daphne, she's an actress.
What a great
and
name.
she played Melora Paslar in Deep Space Nine. She's the woman with like the blonde hair that she's in a wheelchair because gravity works differently for her.
I remember
Yeah,
one episode,
that's
and then they
fucking
fucking
Dana
changed the
Ashbrook's
They
sister.
changed the
Yeah,
gravity
they changed
in her
the gravity
room so that she can like
so
be
she can
free.
actually like be free from her
OMG,
wheelchair.
I
Yeah,
remember
that's
that
fucking
episode.
Dana. I had no idea that that was his sister. But the very first role that he got cast in as a child was in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. He was Kid on the boat.
Kid on the boat.
Yeah, he was Kid on the boat in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, which is a movie that I haven't seen in a really long time, but the last time I watched it, I laughed my ass
Do you remember
off.
the cartoon? Anyone?
I know of its existence, but I never watched
Again,
it.
I know
the
of its
cartoon.
existence.
But there's like
yeah.
a bunch of sequels too, right?
Yeah.
Anything Roger Corman does is entertaining. And he had some bit parts in soap operas, and then he got his big break in Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Like, it was his first, like, role throughout the entire production. And then in the same year, he did Waxwork. He's so sexy.
He's very sexy in Waxwork.
In Waxwork.
Very sexy.
Oh my fucking god. But especially in Twin Peaks because he's always wearing a leather jacket and smoking.
Leather helps. It really does.
So does smoking. I don't fucking care, man.
It's just the
As
vibe.
long
I
as I
agree.
don't have
I
to
agree.
date you or kiss you, when I see a man smoking, I'm like, oh my god.
There is a
you have your
photo
shit
of
together.
Dana Ashbrook like with a cigarette in his mouth on Google, like wearing a leather jacket, and it's just like the sexiest thing I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Well, I
Dana
gotta see this
Ashbrook, if
shit.
you're listening to this, I love you. You were a babe. But he's also in.
I was about to say Ghost Dad.
I watched that movie a lot when I was.
I'm
a
sorry.
kid.
Isn't Bill Cosby?
Yeah,
That's
fuck
why I'm
that
like,
guy. Fuck Bill
Fuck
Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
Fuck
Free
that
Britney!
shit.
Free Britney.
Send Bill back to the clinker.
Yeah.
Back to the clinker.
Fuck him. But Dana Ashbrook, I just want to talk about 3 movies that he was in. One is The Willies, which I'm pretty sure is like episode 3 of
one.
Witchfinger Horror Podcast.
Yeah, and James Karen is also in that.
And Sundown, which is a
did age well.
fucking awesome vampire
Sundown.
movie. I'm gonna lend it to you. I'm gonna lend it to you. I'm gonna lend it to everybody. Sundown, y'all need to watch Sundown because that is such a fucking underrated vampire. Like Dusty. It's like one of those like, you know, like Dusty horror movies.
I have 1941 and I have 2016.
Is that the one?
Girl, like seriously, don't do this to me. Like,
He
look
looks
at,
pretty hot.
dude, he is such a fucking
He's
babe.
aged really
Show
well.
her.
No, he's super sexy. I saw. Yeah, he reminds me of
God
like
damn
Johnny
it.
Depp and Crybaby kind of.
Yeah, no, he definitely has that look about
And
him.
there's a
I
moment,
get-
I'm doing it.
get
I'm
it.
sorry, I'm getting into it. There's a moment in Twin Peaks in the 2nd season where he like totally turns into a piece of shit and like betrays Shelley, but then he like fucking he gets his groove back and he totally like becomes humble again and he comes back to Shelley, and then in the new Twin Peaks he turns out to be the sheriff of Twin Peaks. I can talk about this shit all night, but I won't. But you know what other movie he's in that I know you might have seen?
Ooh, what?
She's Out of Control with
Oh
Tony Danza.
God!
I have seen that movie more than once.
So have I.
really funny.
So have I.
Have you ever seen that? Probably not. It's like an
I don't think
80s
so.
or it's a 90s.
It feels like
It's like
early
She's All That.
90s.
It's like the blueprint for She's All
I was
That.
gonna say it's very much like it's a like a chick flick, but our era, 2021 era of chick flicks are all chicks in the movie. When chick flicks first started, I feel like there were a ton of men. Like it's one of those chick flicks where it's like a rom-com. You know how Tom Hanks used to be in a bunch of chick flicks? I'm doing these.
Yes.
It was like that, where like the men were the star of the chick flick.
Yeah, like Tony Danza.
I know
like
the types
his daughter,
of movies that he would get cast in because he's like, you know, who's the boss?
Yeah, and like his daughter,
Oh my God, I love you
she
for that.
turned 16 and she gets her braces removed and she's all sexy and Tony Danza's like a single dad and he's like, oh no, teenage boys want to fuck my daughter.
Oh,
Hell
my
no.
daughter is a sexual being.
I know.
How do I process this?
Yeah, but anyway, so Dana Ashbrook is a mega babe.
He too has a vest.
He can wear whatever
He
the
looks
fuck
like
he wants.
a heating and cooling.
He actually came
Mechanic.
to fix the cable.
Oh, well, then there you go. Because
Yeah, so
he's
showed up.
wearing like a more taupe color vest,
Yeah,
like color
like taupe.
ensemble.
Yeah, like
And
he showed up to
so-
like fix the TV or fix the cable.
Like the
and
beginning
then
of the
shit
porn.
got crazy, huh?
He's just the boyfriend.
Well,
He's
yeah.
not an electrician.
Yeah, well, I guess yeah. He's the eye candy guy.
So these zombies, I like them. Their skin tone is more blue.
Yeah,
I find
we should
everyone
talk
kind of
about
has like
the
an
zombie-
undertone
the
of
aspect
blue.
of the zombies here.
Yeah, Kenny Myers.
They're
man.
very strong. They're very smart. They're very quick.
and they're fast.
They know how to open door handles. They know how to fight. Like they know how to wrestle.
And they talk.
Yeah, it's just like he's watching a woman work out as if he's sexually attracted to her.
And they're all like, what?
You know what? They kind of remind me of the zombies in
Day of the
Video
Dead?
Dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, the Video Dead, because in the Video Dead, they still retain their, like, identity from when they were alive.
Right.
And then they sometimes, like, dwell in that and will go back and do their, like, housework.
There's another movie that's like that too. Fuck. That's not the only one
Except
that's
the
like
Video
that.
Dead is, like, the Z version of this.
Yes.
But, like, yeah, like, they have very anthropomorphic, like, features. Where, like, they're still, like, you can see their
Like, their
humanistic
humanity
side,
is
like,
still
before
still
they
kind of
died.
in there. Yeah.
But Kenny Myers was the special effects artist for both movies. But as I said earlier, he worked extra hard on part 2 because they just had a lot more different zombie faces.
Yeah, like the one zombie that like sits up and she's got like worms coming out of her face
Yeah,
and stuff. That
maggots.
one is really fucking cool.
Maggots are fucking metal,
Yeah.
man.
And like the severed head that's like talking and shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And she's like, oh, I don't remember what her line is, but it's like her teeth
Actually,
are all,
I'm pretty
her
sure-
gums are all pulled back and shit.
She's
She's got a voice like this.
I'm pretty sure fucking Kenny Myers does the voice of the severed head.
No.
Yeah, he does.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a zombie behind.
And of
They
course-
are very blue.
Everything's very blue.
Yeah, that's like
very
the Video
blue.
Dead.
Yeah.
They're all very blue in the Video Dead as well.
Which is funny. Okay, yeah, and I love when people try and kill zombies because that's the ultimate. He just stabbed him in the gut.
Ain't gonna do shit,
But
Bobby
it's
Briggs.
interesting because in this world, in this realm of the living dead,
Sure.
like getting them in the head doesn't work. Like if you remember in the first Return of the Living Dead, like they put the poker through his head, he doesn't die.
Well, and like a fucking severed head just bit off Jimmy's fucking
yeah, so like
fingers.
severing the like brain link from the body doesn't do anything, and like putting like a stabber or like an axe or anything through the head doesn't do anything.
Right.
So it's like you have to literally incinerate the body.
Is this guy getting
Oh,
banged?
it's your boyfriend, Morgan.
Oh, I hate
it's
this
Billy.
kid's face so much.
Is he getting
Morgan.
fucked?
Okay, so like when we were figuring out what movie to do for our 50th episode, like I was thinking Return of the Living Dead 2 because Morgan hates Billy so much.
His face is just like really punchable. Like
Ever since I've
watching-
known you, you've talked about how much you fucking hate
Yeah, like this kid's face
kid's
is fucking annoying.
And his real
It's the
name,
kind of face Thor.
his name is Thor.
I'm gonna bring it back around to. This is the fuck. I gotta keep count. We've done 50 episodes. I'm going to say this is the 40th episode with someone named
Billy.
Billy,
or
right.
Timmy or Tommy.
Yeah.
Yep, I can't,
Someone
man.
commented that, like, on our Return of the Living Dead post. They were like, another movie with a character named
With a
Billy.
Billy.
And so
It's a
I
Billy
was
always.
reading, I follow a lot of things on Instagram, like a lot of like writers' Instagrams on like, and they just tell you how to edit, what makes editing easier, how to write characters, yada yada. And there was an actual full blown like series of posts that this one writer put up on Instagram about the allure of the Billy,
Whoa, really?
Tommy, Bobby, and it's the E. Because you're young and innocent. It's innocence that captures in the E. Because when you're a child, you're Bobby. When you grow up, you're Robert. You're Bob.
Yeah.
It gets taken away, right? You're not Timmy
You're
when
not
you're fucking
Billy.
50 years
You're
old.
Bill.
You're Bill. You're William.
But you know what that makes me
Unless
so
you're
So
my cat.
it's a way to engage with your
Never
audience, with your listeners. It's a way to instill that sense of innocence and youth
It makes
in the
sense.
character.
That makes me think of Tommy like the Who, though. That shit ain't innocent.
No, but it's youthful. It's youth.
It is, yeah.
It's youth, and I think that's very much the essence of it is youth, right?
Yeah. The E.
Yeah.
You know what? When I was feeling Yasmina's boggling, I was actually
feeling her
thinking. I was actually thinking if I had a penis, I'd fuck this thing because it's soft and like.
Well, like,
I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure that isn't that like what like pocket pussies are made
That's
out
what I'm
of?
saying. Like the boggling feels like a
yeah,
pocket
like a
pussy.
flashlight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
very soft.
a soft
Very soft.
silicone.
The
like,
Boglins are definitely really soft. I
fucking
should
a boglin. Anybody
Yeah.
out there fucked a boglin before?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Let us
Yeah.
know.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Don't fucking DM us. Just put it in the comments
Yeah, I don't want to see a
was
picture of your
thinking
dick
about-
inside a boglin.
about what Yasmina's boglin felt like. That's a quote from Megan.
Around my fucking invisible penis.
The,
That's
like puppet
incredible.
mouth.
Yeah, the puppet mouth.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you can adjust the tightness around your penis because it's a
Yeah.
puppet mouth. So you put
Yeah.
your hand in the mouth and
Yeah.
you can make it as tight as you.
Or like
Want.
fucking bring it to your next orgy. Somebody else could control the puppet on your
Yeah.
dick.
To your next orgy.
People have orgies.
A nice
Eyes wide
accessory
shut.
for your next orgy.
It's a real thing.
Society. Big.
Society waits for
Oh, I wonder
you.
if orgies. You know what? You gotta feel bad for the swingers and stuff during COVID. They're stuck fucking their husbands and wives instead of doing what they love, which is everyone else.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Wah. Do some drugs, okay?
Masturbate with your left hand. I don't know what to tell you.
Just remember, what will God think? Also, we just watched the part with the severed hand giving the middle finger,
Which is
and I love that.
Incredible.
I love it.
You know what I've been thinking
Fuck
about a lot
you.
lately? And I want to bring it up before we forget and never bring it up. We watched Meet the Hollowheads the other day.
That was weird.
And I have not been able to get that movie out of my head.
Okay,
Literally
backstory. Meet the Hollowheads is a movie that my friend Dana introduced me to years ago. And I just recently found the tape. And ever since I watched it with Dana, like years ago, how long have I been fucking telling you guys?
Oh,
Like,
you've
we
talked
got-
about it for a long
since
time.
I met
yeah.
Like, honestly, like for years, I've been like, I need to get you sluts to watch Meet the Hollowheads because it's like TerrorVision, but like on shrooms.
More disturbing.
It's
I'm
like, it is.
genuine.
No, it's disturbing because TerrorVision is a comedy, whereas like Meet the Hollowheads,
like there's
is,
some like real issues
it's
going
fucked.
on. Like
It's-
the
there's
boss
issues-
that's like real creepy.
yeah,
and,
like he's like a super raper, and
Yeah, it's
but Juliette Lewis is in it, and she sings a horrible song. And there's like Homer from Near Dark is in it, and it's all takes place on a set, and there's like dicks that come out of the walls, and their grandpa's like decrepit in the basement.
To feed
It's
grandpa,
like honestly
it's
like
weird,
such a fucking like
strange.
insane movie. But we hung out last weekend to have like a production meeting to talk about the episode, and I was like, "Fucking, I'm gonna make you watch this movie finally."
Yasmina, it has stuck with me more. I know that movie more than maybe it's just me. You guys ever seen those people who are like on the internet who are like, I don't remember my childhood. I don't.
But you remember me?
I remember Meet the Hollowheads, and that's the point I'm trying to say. We talk about, Mystics of Bali and spookies and whatever else movie I don't remember a lot of our episodes. A, because we're drunk.
Same.
Yeah.
B, because it was a long fucking time ago, and by a long time ago, I mean 2.5 years, or something like that. You know what I mean? But I don't remember a lot in life. I really don't. My moments come and then they go and they're gone.
I'm
Meet
same
the
way.
fucking Hollowheads. Like really, like
never leave.
I process it still. Like it had a lot of like meaning, but it's a meaningless movie. Why the fuck am I dwelling on this weird?
I know,
freak show
right?
movie?
Why doesn't other more people need to fucking talk about this movie? Like seriously, like it's basically, like.
Like what, Yasmina? Nothing.
Listen, I think
It's like
there's
a
lot of-
nightmare. It's like watching someone's fucking nightmare. Like,
I think there's a lot of weird and like visceral things in it though. Like, I don't know, for me, like when I see a movie and there's like a part in it that like makes me uncomfortable, like I think about it and it's a part of my
Right.
psyche
Right.
forever. And I
Right.
know like we were talking about like, oh, that part where he talks about the brains are spicy, like that like fucked me up from a kid, and when I watch it, it makes me, I think about it like when I'm vacuuming, or I think about like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like it makes me sick, right?
Yeah.
And it's just one of those weird and visceral things.
wait a second.
Yeah.
You think about spicy brains
I
when
do
you're vacuuming?
all the time. like Megan is talking about. It's like so like
I know
random
that movie is
and
fucked,
mundane
man.
and like almost completely devoid of any actual like purpose. But there's stuff in it that makes you that it disturbs you in a
Dude,
way that like
seriously.
you can't get it out of your brain. I
More than the
understand.
rape, too. More than
Yeah,
the
'cause
rapey
there's
boss.
some
And I
weird shit
don't
in
want
it.
to give it away because I really, truly are, thousands of fans. I want every single one of you to experience this. movie
Seriously,
now.
you need
It's
to watch
so
it. And the
weird.
fucking
Like-
rapey boss is totally sleazy. P. Martini from Guar.
There's a lot of
like
a lot
he's
of
just
themes in it,
like
like,
him.
the
He's super
subservient
sleazy.
wife, and
That's what stuck with me.
yeah.
I can't get the wife out of my
It's
head.
very, like,
and also
theater
the grandpa,
production.
like
I
the
can't.
invalid, and like they're feeding him, and
with a
he's just,
giant syringe.
Yeah.
full of
It's
It's
like,
like
a dark
it's basically
room.
like, I don't know if y'all remember, like in
There's
the
a lot of-
90s,
lot of subconscious
in
things
the
going on
late
there.
80s, like early 90s, there was a slew of I want to call it like disturbed avant-garde, I guess, and Freaked is probably the most like popular movie in that genre. And Freaked, like, have you guys seen that movie?
Yeah.
With
You know what?
Alex
I haven't-
Winter.
I know it's Alex Winter, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's very weird, and like Meet the Hollowheads is like that kind of level of weird, but they like take it up a notch. It's like, honestly, it's a mix of Terror Vision and Freaked. That's how I would describe it. But honestly, the most pivotal part of that movie, in my opinion, is the song that Juliette Lewis sings. And that fucking guy with his chicken saxophone, whatever the fuck that thing
That
was.
was
He has like
weird.
an instrument that's made out
Right.
of a rubber chicken, and she's like, I feel good about myself, don't wanna be anybody else. Like they
Over
tried to
and
sprinkle
over
in
and
some,
over.
confidence.
They're like, oh, she can sing. Let's give her a singing part in this movie.
Yeah.
I always like when they
Brutal.
do that, when they're like,
I was really
oh,
hoping you were going to
can
bring up that
dance?
movie
Holy-
in
I
this
can't-
episode,
I
because I'm
can't,
so
man.
glad. I can't believe how
The
many
wife-
years it's taken for me to make you guys finally watch Meet the Hollowhead.
Yeah, and
only-
you know what? Megan's life has changed forever. She's never going to be the same.
That's it. The only scene, and I'm on a big kick right now. No offense to half of our followers, but I fucking hate men, and that's just where I am in life right now. And so the wife only left the kitchen
I know.
in one scene, and in that one scene she was in the living room and she was groped by the boss.
Yeah,
like it was
gross.
very much she was in the kitchen trying to prepare this meal, worried about this meal for 99% of the movie, and then when she wasn't worried about what to cook, she was being felt up.
Yeah, because she kept her mouth shut because they had to the boss was offering her husband a promotion, so they had to suck up to him, and then she was subservient and was like, "Oh, this is okay. I just want
It's
my husband
very
to get the job."
reflective
But then as
of-
soon as Sleazy P. Martini fucking as soon as they're done with him, then it's great because then they feed him that giant needle. That,
It's funny. It's a funny movie.
Anyone who has never seen this movie, which is probably going to be most of you, are going to be very confused at this part in the episode. So you should probably just watch it.
Just watch it.
Just watch it.
It's very much on point to what is
Don't
going
watch
on
it
in the world
alone.
right now.
And
Yeah.
we don't take responsibility for your nightmares.
No.
It's
And,
really
and so we
fucking weird.
looked it up. We'll get back to the zombie flick we're watching, but we looked it up. / Yasmina looked it up, and Morgan, and it was set in on another planet.
Like it's an alternate universe.
It's like an alternate
But they look like
universe.
humans,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that
And
to me,
the music was like
Everything was like
squeeze, fart squeeze.
It was like
that
some Ren and
shit
Stimpy
bugs
shit.
me.
It
That
was
shit
weird.
gives me nightmares. Is that fucking weird trippy trumpet fucking music?
Yeah.
It's almost like
fuck with that,
they
man.
figured out which frequencies the human ear doesn't love,
Yeah.
and then they made
I
a
don't
song
like it.
out of that.
It's fucking
No,
weird.
sir. I don't like it.
No, sir, I don't like it. I don't like it.
So I just want to mention that the doctor in this, like the doc, he's just Doc in it, was supposed to
Phil Bruns is his name.
Okay, so Don
something to say
Calfa,
about him.
who was the the other dude, the fucking mortuary, tried out for that part, but he didn't get
Yeah,
it.
he didn't
and it's
get
like,
it.
why?
Because everybody hated Ken, man. Ken was really hard to fucking work with. Like,
Because that would have actually made this even better.
I
Because
know.
I think he was actually one of the best parts of
I agree. I like his eyes.
Return of the Living Dead.
They're
Yeah,
very
I also
delicate.
love how he just like snipped his one pant leg into shorts and left the other one for the entire movie. Incredible.
I want to go back to Kenny Myers really quickly.
The SPFX guy.
So the difference between the Tarmans is the second Tarman in part 2. They added animatronic eyes.
Yeah, like
So
he
the
looks
eyes
different.
like move all wonky.
Regular
And
Tarman, like the
because
first
of
one,
that-
his eyes
and
look
it's
very
funny
buggy.
because like I watched the documentary, and in the documentary, Alan Trotman like talks about how when he got asked to do part 2, they were like, "Can you do it non-union?" And he was like, "No," because
shit.
like that fucking Tarman suit sucks ass.
I'm sure it
And
does.
it's made of foam, and they didn't know if it was gonna like float or sink when he gets like thrown,
he gets thrown into the river?
river. And he was like,
So their solution
"No."
was to say non-union.
Yeah. And then he was like, no. Like, so they were like, okay. Like, so he was unionized or whatever. There's a scene in this movie where there's a hand in a car that's like going crazy. And what they did was they used Peter Lorre from The Beast with 5 Fingers as like a guide for how to shoot that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's like an old 50s like Peter Lorre movie, and there's like the whole movie is like a severed like hand like thing from
Yeah.
the Addams Family, and they were like basically
I'm such
like
a pervert.
you fucking pervert.
Come
you thinking about a
on,
severed hand
the beast
giving
with
a
5 fingers.
hand job.
5 fingers up my pussy.
All he needs is 5 fingers.
I know,
Beast. Just 5 fingers and a beast.
Yeah, so basically,
That's all I need.
Kenny Myers was like, I'm a perv and I'm gonna, give hand jobs with severed hands. And thanks, Peter Lorre. So that's how
thank
they
you.
wrote that scene. And there's also like just in general, this movie is just more graphic than the first one. Like even when they're eating brains, it's just much more like gory
They took
than
it
the
up a
first
notch.
one.
Like, this shit
But Kenny
here,
Myers,
awesome.
yeah, he has been doing special effects for years in the industry. He worked on Galaxy of Terror. He
Incredible
worked
movie.
on Friday the 13th Part 3. Bom, 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 bom. I love the song.
Do,
Part
do,
3.
do, 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 do. No, that's not it. Sorry.
Stanford and Son. It's basically the same song. And he also worked on Dead Heat
Awesome.
with
Great
Joe
movie.
Piscopo from TNG
And
Treat Williams.
Treat, what a treat.
What a treat, Treat Williams. He also worked on The Willies, and he also worked on Sword and the Sorcerer, which is Albert Pune's first movie, and we're gonna get into him later. And
What, Albert Pune?
Yeah,
Why?
because of Tom Matthews.
Oh, I didn't know that there's
get there.
There's
We'll
a
get there.
Pune.
Pew pew. There is a Pune reference, and
Puny
he
penis.
also did the special effects for the Star Trek movies Part 5 and 6. So Final Frontier is garbage, and Part 6, Undiscovered Country, brilliant.
How can you go from trash to brilliance?
I'll tell
in
you.
one movie.
I'll tell you. William Shatner. That's how.
Shatner? I
Yeah.
barely know her.
Incredible.
question for you guys,
Okay.
but mainly
Who, me?
Yes,
y'all.
you couldn't be. Then who?
But
Who, me?
but more for everybody. It's a hot debate that I've been thinking about a lot. Okay, is Frankenstein's monster a zombie?
Yes.
Think about it.
Yes,
Is
he is-
Frankenstein's
Yes.
monster
Sorry,
a
can
zombie?
you say that question again?
Is Frankenstein's monster a zombie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
he is.
undead, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Bring him back to life.
It's funny because
reanimated flesh.
Frankenstein is. I'm gonna cut it to Frankenstein because Frankenstein's monster. We all as horror fans understand that's who he is.
Yes.
Okay, Frankenstein is the fucking doctor. Anyways, Frankenstein. I'm doing bunny
Wait a
ears.
minute. Frankenstein as the doctor?
Okay, you know what, Yasmin? I know. I'm not enough of your sarcastic bullshit. So
For one night.
I'm not done yet.
it's funny that he is, a monster, right? Frankenstein's monster.
Yes.
No, he's a zombie. It's the original zombie
Yes.
story, which is beautiful. It's the only beautiful zombie story, in my opinion. And then my second question is, and a little bit more interesting, death becomes her. They don't die, but their bodies rot and wither. Are they zombies?
Yes.
I think so too. I think so too.
Yes, because well, say for instance, if we're gonna be referencing Return of the Living Dead, in the first and the second movies, they get the first one especially, they get the toxic shit in their face, and
All they do is drink poison
yeah.
or drink a potion,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
And
It's
death
a similar
becomes her.
thing, and then when the
They fall
paramedics-
downstairs.
the
Her
paramedics
neck
come,
is turned around. She has a hole through her stomach.
yeah. The paramedics
so
come in
much.
Return of the Living Dead, and they're like, "You have no pulse. Your internal body temperature is whatever,
Right.
70 degrees. Like, you don't have any pressure. You're dead."
But
So-
the difference is they drink the potion when they're alive.
Right. How? But,
Yeah, but in this
I don't
one,
think that's so. Did they though?
They get the toxic shit
thrown
in
into
face
their
when they're
alive faces.
That's true.
and they slowly die.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
So it's like I was like, okay, death becomes her. It's
They
a
are
fucking zombie
Yes, they're
movie.
zombies. Yes, it
I
is.
love that movie. Hello. Like, for the longest time when I was a little kid, I had no idea that it was Bruce Willis.
Oh right.
I
know.
honestly had no idea.
Because he's
I
such
didn't
an
find
ugly
out.
loser.
I didn't know it was him until like later in life. But did you know how like in the movie when Blue Velvet, I can't think of her name right now. When she offers her, like, she gives her the note that says the price.
Yeah.
The price, I found out how much it costs.
How
It's
much?
$1 million.
Oh, a million.
Back then, that was a lot. Of
That's
money.
like 10 million.
Yeah,
Like lit.
yeah. Because like they don't mention the price in
No,
the
they
movie,
don't.
and I was like, I watched it recently. God damn it, Goldie Hawn, beautiful bitch. My ass.
Don't even though Meryl Streep is fucking
She's-
untouchable.
of
Like
course.
those two
Of course.
women.
Yeah, that movie is perfect. But I
It
was
is. It
curious
is
because I
perfect.
watched it recently and I was like, well, they never mention how much she pays for it because Meryl Streep is just like, this is preposterous. But then she pays it. And I was like, well, fucking how much is it? But apparently Scream Factory or some company re-released it on Blu-ray. And in the special features, they finally fucking like reveal that it was $1 million.
I would almost have rathered that like when she opens up the folded piece of paper, it's like a drawing of a penis or something.
Oh my god, like dick butt? If it was dick butt, that would be incredible.
And then Meryl Streep has to act like.
We just saw Doug Benson.
Oh, I love
Okay,
that.
so that zombie that
the high
says
voice?
with the high voice
Yeah.
that says brains like that is Doug Benson.
I love that. He's so young,
love
too.
That
Incredible.
fact. I think that is like my favorite fact of this movie because I fucking love Doug Benson. I saw him live, and even fucking Scott Thompson from Kids in the Hall showed up, and he
Oh,
was
I
like
love
one
that.
of the guests. And you know who Doug Benson is, right?
Scott Thompson, Matchbox 20.
Why? Matchbox 20. I just think
Y'all
of Always
motherfuckers
Sunny.
are on a roll
I
tonight.
just always think of Always Sunny because he was on that show, right?
What?
Yeah.
Rob Thomas?
What? Yeah, Rob Thomas was in It's Always Sunny. Remember the episode where like he's with fucking Sinbad and Sinbad? Yeah, like they think they're crazy.
What fucking year is it?
Hello.
Oh my God.
How do you not remember this episode?
I don't know, but I feel like I would have remembered Sinbad.
There's an episode where fucking
Sinbad and
what's
Rob
his name?
Thomas? What kind
my
of
God,
buddy cop movie
alcohol.
is that?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Rob Thomas is in an episode, and you need to watch it. And you just need to watch that show because it's fucking incredible. So I started blasting. Who can we talk about right now?
Ken Thomas. No, what's his name?
Ken
Mike
Thomas?
Tom Matthews?
Tom Matthews. Let's talk about Tom Matthews.
Let's talk about Dave Matthews Band.
No. Unless you want to talk about fucking Dave Matthews when they like...
Tom Bergeron.
Littered their
Bergeron.
poo-poo off the highway on tour. Do you remember
what?
that? Remember when Dave Matthews was all like, I'm hippie and environmentalist. I love the earth. And like their tour bus.
They let their shit.
Yeah, their fucking shit tank. They like tossed
Over like
it
the London
over
River
the highway
or
or
something.
some shit.
I thought it was the highway. I thought it was
Yeah.
like a river
Well,
or
you know
highway.
what?
Yeah.
I was like, I thought you were all like environmentalist.
It probably
Dave
wasn't
Matthews.
Dave Matthews that was like, release the poop.
It's just poo though, right? Like poo's like
It's poo and pee.
Actually, let me tell you,
Organic.
a tour bus that has the capacity to poop is a very expensive endeavor. You need to have special equipment. Usually, you're not allowed to shit on a tour bus.
shut your fucking mouth. No one tells me
You
where
can't
or when I
even
shit.
put your toilet paper down the toilet.
I knew that. I've
Yeah.
been to many a
Only
country
pee.
where you can't do that.
I've been
Only
in
pee.
many tour buses, and I've never been on one where you can shit on.
They call it a grinder.
Oh my god.
So you can grind up all the matter and then you release the poo. But you know what? It was probably the bus driver that was like, release the poo.
But
Dave Matthews wasn't presiding over it like, yes.
This is my poo.
Release the poo.
Spread it out, John.
Plus, let me tell you,
Spread
Dave
my
Matthews,
seed.
his entourage, he probably has 20 buses and like 3 tractor trailers for his fucking tour.
you know what's funny?
It's a lot of poo.
Dave
even still
Matthews.
revel-
I can't think of a
relevant.
fucking
What?
single song he's. I can't think of a fucking single song.
I know what it sounds like, but I can't sing it for you.
out my head and let me out, baby.
It sounds like
Oh, a bit of baby.
He's got a weird voice.
Yeah, a bit of baby.
Yeah.
How to fight a bit of baby. It's very like Canadian, even though he's probably not Canadian. It's a very
Crash
Canadian
Into Me?
sound.
That song, it was like a slow song. It was like, crash into me, baby.
Baby.
Pretty much.
Do you guys remember that
Guys,
when
why do I know
Stained redid that?
yes.
When they
Yes.
redid that really great song.
I know what you're talking about.
It's been a
Behind Blue Eyes. Stained
No, I
redid
was-
That was Limp
behind
Bizkit.
Behind Blue Eyes.
Yes, that was
Was
Limp
Limp Bizkit who did Behind Blue Eyes. You don't know what it's like.
That was Limp Bizkit.
Oh my god.
I was thinking
To
of the
be
one
a
that
bad
you just said. What is it?
man.
What, Stained?
What was the Stain song that they
Well,
covered?
it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
been
No, that's not a cover. That's their song.
I love that song.
But Behind
I'm
Blue Eyes, I'm pretty
confused.
sure
Oh,
Behind Blue Eyes, is that the video that has Bill Paxton in it?
Behind Blue Eyes was a Holly Berry movie. It was the theme.
No, but the Limp Bizkit music
Right.
video I'm pretty sure had Bill Paxton.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah.
And it's
You
been
know
a
what I
while.
love about our podcast? We're just going to take you through time.
Take you on a journey, girl.
We're going to take you back to the 80s and 90s always.
But Stained, that band got huge, man. That one fucking song.
yeah.
That was a great song.
Yeah.
I was listening to a song by Ashley Simpson's ex-boyfriend.
A Fall Out Boy guy.
Yes! And
Yes.
it was such a great song. It was like
Let me tell you, Fall Out Boy, they're excellent songwriters.
yeah. He
Pat-
wrote this
the
great
singer
song
Patrick
about
has
like
great
come
vocals.
back to you or come right back to you or I always
Come
come,
on
on you.
Or I always come on you.
Come on, and it was like for all of our listeners who were again born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, so you were aware of what was happening in the late 90s. It's very important because when people say they were born in the 90s, you have to understand they were not aware of what was happening in the 90s because they were born in the 90s. So, if you're born in the 80s, aware of what was happening in the 90s, you will understand that this all over spiky hair thing was very popular. It was thick and it was spiky. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like a short spike. It was like a tall,
Yeah.
thick,
The Gotti
spiky,
Boy blowout.
Yes, and there were a lot of layers, a lot of
Yeah.
plaid on top of a t-shirt with a conch shell
Fishnet,
necklace,
fucking arms.
a lot of wide legs, a
Yeah.
lot of jewelry, and
I was there.
and then a lot of men.
I was
A
there.
lot of men who dressed like that played acoustic guitar and sang from the heart. Hoobastank, for one.
Do you know what? It's funny. Do you remember? I think the guy was on American Idol. Was it Ryan Cabrera? That guy. As
Sounds
soon
familiar.
as you said that the like concho necklace, I don't know why I thought of that guy. From the bowels of my brain. Anyways.
The 90s were very good to us all
Very good.
in comparison to the world today. The 90s were
Yeah.
incredible.
I don't remember a lot about what you guys are talking about, but I believe you.
Oh man, that whole era. Remember Hoobastank?
I do.
I know who they are,
Can I
but
just
I
say,
could
like,
I don't know their
Well,
names.
Savage Garden?
What a terrible name for a band.
Oh, terrible.
Hoobastank?
I
Like,
agree.
They were part of the kind of like, they were like the new metal, but like the post new metal, like the
was
Alien Ant
post-nu
Farm
metal.
kind
Yeah.
of like thing going
Can we
on.
talk about how hot the lead singer for Alien Ant Farm is? Why did you make that face?
What?
Because they got
Really?
famous from a cover. I
Yeah,
don't like bands that
and
get
it was
famous off
the
covers.
best cover ever.
Lots of bands do.
The best
the
cover
original is so
ever.
much
Can I
better.
say
So is
that
Behind Blue
the
Eyes.
The song that was their second
doesn't
single.
matter.
Was
Why?
The movies, remember that single, the second single from Alien Ant Farm?
No, I just remember that.
I just know
that
how,
was
I just
so
know that they
hot.
covered
He
Smooth
was
Criminal,
so
and I was
hot.
like, cool, you got famous from a cover, just like that other fucking. What's that other punk band that got famous off of Corey Hart?
Corey Hart?
Trouble Charger. I don't know.
There's
Was it not
another
Triple
punk
Charger?
band that got like famous
Now
from a
you
cover.
know how far you go
Um,
to be the
but do you
next
remember
freak
when,
show,
like,
American Psycho.
Trouble Charger was like good though.
Cover of
In
the
the
night.
Oh,
90s.
they were good. They were good.
Something, something, know your name.
Their first album, bomb shit.
The 90s for alternative was very interesting.
Especially in Canada, we
Yeah.
had a good thing going
Yeah.
on here. We had a lot of our own bands, and they were very
Plus Electric Circus.
Monica Diol. Like she was literally chiseled out of marble. What a goddess!
She reminds me of like a who's that fucking model who used to beat the shit out of people?
Cindy Crawford.
Naomi Campbell.
Naomi Campbell.
She still does.
Yeah, like she
Go
like
girl.
she hit someone with a phone or something.
Yeah, I
Oh,
would too.
Bjork.
Get on my
no,
fucking face.
what did Bjork? do
Bjork
that
attacked
too?
a fucking paparazzi. That
But it was an
awesome.
accident. They were
No,
trying to
she
help
fucking
her and
did
she
that shit
attacked
on
them. No,
purpose.
but they were trying to help her and then she attacked them and she apologized after because she was like, "Oh, sorry, I just don't like paparazzi." But they were trying to help her and she like knocked them out or something like that. Man, we digress like a motherfucker.
See, we knew this was gonna happen. Anyway, zombies are taking over.
Yeah, Tom
They're running.
Matthews. Okay, Tom Matthews, who plays Joey. So, yeah, I mentioned earlier one of the only reasons why he did part 2 was because James Cameron was also involved. And he started out as a model.
I
And
could see
yeah,
it.
he was
He's-
a model.
Do you know how tall he is? Because he looks like
Yeah,
one.
he's like 6'5". He's a
Really?
giant in
Love
real
it.
life.
Love it.
And yeah, so he started doing modeling early in his career, and he acted in some commercials like for products such as Sprite and Tostitos.
Vida Sassoon.
I would eat
I
and
like
drink
Sprite.
anything that he would tout.
Fuck yeah.
Would love it.
He had some spots in soap operas. He has a brown belt in martial arts.
That's frustrating.
Only brown?
Brown belt is one
Ew.
away from black. What the
Yeah.
fuck is wrong with you? Why wouldn't you just finish
that's like
it?
fucking
Why wouldn't you just
Craig
wait
T.
and then tell
Nelson.
the world when you're a black belt?
Craig T. Nelson. Craig Nelson.
8 arms and 8 arm. 8 arm man.
Craig Nelson, coach, is also a brown belt because he is a badass karate fighter in Action Jackson.
There are like 8 belts. You went one away from finishing
Right? Why
it.
wouldn't you just like take that shit time?
Maybe they just wanted to keep the brown because poop. But also Tom Matthews, he owns his own construction company, and
He's a rich man now.
He was hired by Ozzy Osbourne. Weird that I'm wearing his shirt right now.
Yeah.
I didn't plan this. And to remodel his house, and he's not in the episode, but the episode where his construction company is doing the renovations is in
the Osbournes? Oh, that's
show.
cool.
And
Good for him, though, eh?
he's really good friends with George Clooney.
What?
My guy, George Clooney. Is
Tell
good
you, though,
friends
George Clooney
with
is
Tom
just
Matthews.
a pal to the world.
His wife
love
is a
him. He
fucking
seems like
I
queen.
know,
His
I know.
wife is a fucking queen.
He is
too.
blessed to be with
Yes.
her.
No, he is, truly.
Yes, they are a perfect couple. And
he is, what's her name? Is it Amal?
Amal.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
Queen, but it makes sense that they're
Amal's
friends
husband.
because
That's right.
he was in an episode of ER, so I'm assuming that's probably where they met, and he's also in The Peacemaker, that movie with George Clooney and Nicole Kidman.
What's a peacemaker?
Don't ask me, because I don't have the answer.
Peacemaker.
I just work here,
you,
man.
Morgan.
I don't know.
It makes my pee.
How do you smake
It
pee?
makes my pee. Did you mention that he's in Friday the 13th, or am I
No,
stupid?
I'm getting there.
He's the Tommy.
I'm getting there, man.
He's the fake Tommy. The
Okay,
fake Tommy.
so he auditioned for the role in prison, but then Viggo Mortensen got it.
You know what?
And that's a great movie. Have you
He-
seen Prison?
I only just watched it recently, and he's pretty
The
hot in
end
it.
is
Yeah,
so
it's
fucking
very
good.
good.
When
Do you
he's
see his
like,
dick?
No,
No.
unfortunately
Wait, do you see
not.
his dick in Eastern Promises?
Yeah, I think
It's
yes.
Viggo's more. Yeah,
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
his dick in Eastern Promises.
Viggo Dick. Put more dicks in movies. Anyways, but yeah, Tom Matthews, he got his big break as Freddy in the first Return of the Living Dead, and he was the third and final Tommy Jarvis.
fake Tommy.
Tommy Matthews is Tommy Jarvis in Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives.
Right, yes.
That's the third Tommy
Yes.
Jarvis. And
love
he
Jason Lives. I
also,
love
the game, the Friday the 13th game that just came out
Yeah.
on the PlayStation,
Oh, it's not good.
I heard it was really good, and I bought it and I never got to play it.
Oh,
long
right.
story. Not gonna get into it. And but they used his likeness for the game, and he provided his voice for the character.
I'm
of
just gonna
Tommy
say real
Jarvis.
quick before people. Oh, that was the lamest fart I've ever farted.
We're not friends anymore.
Just real quick. I know that was such a. It's because I'm wearing a thong and it went whoop up my butt crack.
I thought
it
thongs
bubbled
don't do
up.
it.
Yeah, thongs suck. I say it's a bad game because I'm not a gamer. Go on. I just want people to be like, oh my god, she didn't like that video game. You guys need to understand that video games are hard for
I
people who
play
aren't gamers.
Dr. Mario on fucking
Yeah,
Nintendo.
like literally Super Mario
so-
3 or like Super Mario World for Super Nintendo is
Yeah.
like as far
I mean, like, I'm not knocking on new games. Like, some of
No,
them are
they're
really
great,
fun,
but there's a lot of controls I don't like. You gotta
Yeah,
twirl the
you gotta get used to
nipples
it.
at the
But
same
like,
time
like
as you're
exit
pressing the
stands,
button.
you gotta like
good.
click the
I heard it was really good. I
don't know.
bought it. I never played it.
Who does that? Tommy, Jimmy, Johnny, Bobby,
Billy.
Billy. Fuck!
But he was in the third Dirty Dozen movie, and the Dirty Dozen, like the original, the first one, is a great fucking movie. And
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that he was in the third one, and he's in 11 Albert Pune movies. Pew. Let's talk about this.
Okay, I actually did not know that.
I'm sure people who have been following me on the social media know how much I adore Albert Pune.
He's a lovely
And
human.
Tom Matthews has been in 11 Pune
Okay, which-
movies.
let's
So I'm not going to
fucking
talk
let's
about
hear 'em.
all of them, but I'm going to talk about the ones that matter to me. Nemesis.
He's in Nemesis?
Yes, we were very drunk that night.
Okay, because I was like, I don't
Star
remember.
Trek
seeing
Yes,
this.
I remember watching it.
No, not
Oh.
Star Trek. No, I remember watching
no.
it, but I don't remember Tom Matthews. in it.
Yes, I do because
I would've been
I
like,
remember,
okay.
dude. I remember, and we were fucking wasted that night. That was the night that we watched fucking Get Even.
I know. it was
So,
so bad.
Champagne and Bullets. That was that night,
Yeah.
and we were wasted that night. But Nemesis, he's in the first Nemesis, which is a great fucking movie. It's so fucking good. Oliver
Grenier.
whatever his last name
He's
is.
French.
He's in Blood Match. Blood Match is okay.
I think I know that movie. You have a copy
It's a
of that,
fighting
right?
like boxing
Yeah.
movie, like kickboxing movie, and like I love my action movies and my kickboxing movies, and like Blood Match I thought was okay, but he's in Kickboxer 4, and Kickboxer 4 and 5
That
are
seems-
the two that I'm missing. So heads up if anybody has part 4 and 5 for sale, because I need part 5 because Mark DeCastos is in it, but I need part 4 because Tom Matthews is in it. So he's also in another movie by Albert Pune that I tried to watch recently. And here's the thing, I love Albert Pune, but he's very off and on for me. Like some of his movies are like incredible, like Cyborg, but some of his movies are just like unwatchable. And I personally couldn't get into Alien from LA. It was like a little
Isn't
like
that,
it was like Vicious
Is that
Lips.
Kathy Ireland?
Yes, it
Okay.
was like Vicious vicious lips, and I wasn't really that into it. But he's in another one called Heat Seeker that I've heard
I was
is
just about
incredible.
to say, it
and
looks like some
Mean
bad
Guns.
fucking Terminator shit.
Yeah, it actually, and Mean Guns looks really good as well, and I haven't seen that, but I just love...
Is Tom Matthews
I
in-
love Albert Pune. I know, I'm gonna be... And Mean Guns, fucking your boyfriend.
Which one?
Christopher Lambert.
Oh!
And fucking Ice-T is in it, too.
Jiminy Cricket. That
Yeah,
sounds amazing.
fucking Christopher Lambert, motherfucker. Yeah, so,
Raiden forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever. Literally forever.
Tom Matthews, nice guy.
End
I had no
episode.
idea. You know, you
NC.
said that he had been in like 10 of his movies. I had no idea he had done more than 10 movies.
He's done a lot.
There's
like,
a movie, I just saw
yeah.
he was in a movie with John Stamos. By the way, the electricity in
I
this
know,
cost 50 grand.
What?
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
Yeah,
$50,000.
the electricity at the end when they like charge up the fucking I guess it's the electricity station
Whoa.
here. It cost 50 grand, and like the budget I think of this movie was like $6.5 million, but like $50,000.
They said, yeah, they
shit.
drew it.
Yeah,
they
they-
drew it hand by hand, scene for like scene by scene or whatever. They like. It reminds me of the Ghostbusters, though, right?
Yeah.
It's very much like Ghostbusters. This is why practical is always better. They drew on.
every.
I think this is where the
bit.
Michael Jackson
And it's
zombie
incredible.
shows up, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, and he does the like.
Like, look at how incredible this is. His
I know,
eye
he
is
did-
I
bleeding
know
out.
when his eye fucking like oozes.
I can't stress enough the importance of practical effects.
I agree. James Karen, he plays Ed in part 2. He was born in Wilkes Barre, Pennsylvania.
I've been there.
We have been there. We drove through it on our way to VHS.
In
Fest.
which bar?
Wilkes Barre, Pennsylvania. It's like a suburb,
Morgan.
but it's like right by Lehighton. Like we've driven through.
Oh, I played there. I
remember.
played an early show.
Is that near
an
the
early TV show there.
Poconos?
yeah.
Oh, I do remember.
Yeah.
One of our
There you
earliest
go.
shows
You
that we
remember.
ever played.
Yeah.
In the States
Oh, there's
was
Michael
there.
Jackson guy. Yeah. Apparently they didn't like at first like they did it without Ken's approval and they just like put the jacket on that actor and Ken was like, no, we're not fucking doing this because they didn't ask permission and then they were like, fuck it, let's just do it and then we'll just apologize later.
That's, what do you call that? It's better to ask for it's better to apologize. It's easier to say sorry later than ask permission soon. I don't know.
So that's why Michael Jackson is in part 2.
So just a little smoochy boochy of Michael Jackson trivia that has nothing to do with this movie, but I thought everyone would be interested. All of a sudden, I'm drunk. All of a sudden, right now, it just happened.
Because he literally just opened up a can of wine.
All of a sudden, a can of wine. I did just open a can of wine. Listen, let me try and articulate this. You didn't drink, Morgan. You fucking slut. You don't cheers and not drink.
What the
It's a
fuck,
pirate
you
way.
whore? We're not friends anymore.
So, I'm going to try to articulate this fact because it's very interesting. Michael Jackson was in very close contact with
Aliens.
the producer as well as children. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Oh dear.
With the producers of Hook. The movie with
Yeah.
Robin Williams, right? Hook, the Peter
Yeah.
Pan story.
And Dustin Hoffman.
Peter.
So
He
he wanted to be Peter Pan in the movie Hook.
Oh, that's just.
I didn't know that.
So it gets better. They were going to allow him to be Peter Pan in the movie Hook, except for they said to him, "You need to understand that this Peter Pan is not whimsical. He's a lawyer who has a family and who has stresses in life, and he's very stressed out. And this version of Peter Pan, is he's grown up and he's a depressed adult." And they were like, "Is that the Peter Pan you want to play?" And Michael Jackson was like, "Absolutely not. Let Robin Williams do it."
Holy fuck, I had no idea.
So they fully were like, "Cool, Michael Jackson, you want to be Peter Pan? That's cool. But are you willing to do it as a grown-up, as an adult with a job and stress and
he
a
was
family?"
like,
And he was like,
No,
you know what? I just want to do it in the way where I wear that tight green leggings and I have a little fairy in my pocket."
I have a feeling that also was probably a combination of that and the producers after watching like Moonwalker and being like, we're not letting
I'm
this
sure they were like, hey, how do we say no to Michael
Yeah.
Jackson in a way that he says no, not us? But it's very interesting. It's what are we
Yeah.
talking about? That Michael Jackson in the movie,
Yeah.
fucking digressing all over the place.
That's
I digress on your chest.
all over my boobs.
I'm ready for it. Okay, well, let's talk about Jimmy. He grew up in theater as his uncle was an actor and co-founder of the Collective Group Theater in New York City. So he was also in the Air Forces during World War
Awesome.
II, and he got his big break when he was the understudy for A Streetcar Named Desire on Broadway.
But get this.
Yeah.
So it was the original. The
The original Streetcar Named Desire on Broadway. and
But under Carl Malden, did you guys know?
Yeah.
You guys know who Carl Malden is?
No.
Okay, well, so he's an actor, but he literally looks like Mr. Magoo, and I know him because he was one of the original hosts of Unsolved Mysteries before, when it was just like
Mr. Magoo hosted
Mr.
Unsolved
Magoo.
Mysteries.
He literally did. They had 3 hosts in the very first pilots before they actually hired Robert Stack, and Robert Stack was one of them. But Carl Malden was also one of them, and Carl Malden is so not sexy at all.
Well, I mean, James Cameron.
It was a graveyard.
I would say that James Karen probably was sexier than Carl Malden. He literally looks like Mr. Magoo.
I'll have to look into that. Isn't that cool though? Like, I had no idea.
The original production though, that's fucking
Yeah,
serious.
I actually, because we did Return of the Living Dead Part 1 for our 25th anniversary, and I looked at my notes.
Oh my
that,
god, we are.
and I was like,
we're
dude,
so-
I didn't get
Yeah.
even this deep at all. So that's why I was like, yes, I'm excited to talk about him again because
Yeah.
there's a lot of trivia that we missed in that episode. And
were just
this
getting
is a fact that I did not know about James Karen, that he was such good friends with Buster Keaton, that Buster
He's his
Keaton
the
is
godfather
his
of show.
son's godfather. I had
love Buster Keaton.
no idea, and I fucking love him too because he is the stone face of Hollywood. Wasn't his the great stone face, that's what everybody called him in the 20s. He's incredible. And I also just watched Sunset Boulevard and he plays himself playing cards in that scene, and I was like, oh my god, I had no fucking idea that James Cameron, oh my god, James Karen.
I said that earlier,
Yeah,
too.
you
It's
did,
fine.
bitch. You fucking got
did
it.
it.
And yeah, they were such good friends. I had no idea. His son Reed is Buster Keaton's godson, which is crazy. And James Karen received the Buster Award in 2001, which is an honor given to one who demonstrates a professional excellence in Buster's tradition. Because Buster Keaton was known for always being deadpan.
Yeah, does that mean you're a bad actor? No, I'm just kidding. He never emoted.
I love it.
Because
I
he's
love
bad at
it, though.
acting.
I love it.
I'm
As
just
he was
kidding.
literally
I love
throwing
it. I
himself off
absolutely love it.
trains and
No, I'm
fucking...
just kidding. I'm just playing.
I
I'm
love
just
it.
playing.
But yeah, so James Karen.
This is happening. This is happening right now.
James Karen. I almost said James Cameron again. Yes, he passed away in. Okay, sorry, we have to pause for a second here.
They're
we're at the end
advertising
of the
t-shirts.
movie, and there's a promo reel for merch.
Yeah,
Some of the
it's
sickest
it's
merch I've
some,
ever seen.
Charles Band shit right here.
This is some of the sickest merch I've ever seen.
Okay,
though.
so I guess I've never watched past the credits of this VHS that we're watching right now. Okay, so we're watching a promo reel.
You know what? Considering this is 1988, they're advertising tank tops for $13 American. Bitch, that's expensive for 1988.
So.
Actually, there's also a promo reel at the end of Action Jackson where you can get a sweet vanity shirt.
But I mean,
Really?
look at the prices for this. A
14
sweatshirt for
U-
25
yeah.
US dollars in 1988? Bitch, that's expensive.
That's $50.
Yeah.
I'd
You got a lot of nerve fucking asking your
This is
fans for this
awesome.
much
Yeah,
money.
if you guys have the VHS of Return of the Living Dead Part 2.
The Lorimar release. I don't know
Yeah,
if there
there
was
is a
another
fucking
one. Yeah.
promo at the end of the credits where they're selling merch.
They're sizes and styles. You can get a tank top or a t-shirt. Shipping and handling is $3 an item. I'm pretty sure
That's still the same.
That's
too.
not a
medium
lot of
in the US
money.
is $5. still. So not much has changed.
Who could have afforded to do this back in the day? That's really bonkers.
Somebody
Yeah.
who's really obsessed with this fucking movie. Is there a phone number? Are we gonna call it?
I've got my phone ready.
We're gonna prank call it right now.
Oh, a bonus T-shirt for free.
Oh, there's like an
Movie Tees Inc.
address.
Send
In
your
Reading,
money
Pennsylvania.
Fuck,
Oh,
man, I used
send
to
a
write to
check or
P.O.
money-
boxes all the
Check our
time.
money order. No phone number though.
Oh, here it
1-800.
comes. 1-800.
321 3340.
3400.
3400.
You drunk piece of shit.
800 service is not available in Utah because Mormon Jesus doesn't believe
I was
in
gonna say
800
Mormon
numbers.
Jesus.
We're calling the number for Return of the Dead merch.
Please have an answering machine. If not, please have an answering machine. What 1-800 number just rings? It should have an answering machine.
It takes a long time to dial back to 1988.
Oh,
I don't know if it's gonna answer.
Nope. I mean, it's kind of late. It's like 11 p.m.
yeah, but it's a 1-800.
Oh, but it's like 1988. Morgan, like they might be like, it might be like 7 p.m. in 1988.
That's true. Nobody's
Fuck,
picking
what a
up.
bummer.
I'm
Yeah, I
so
thought somebody would
disappointed.
pick up that would say, you've reached.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
Oh. We would like some Return of the Living Dead merchandise, please.
There are a ton of people who we follow and who hopefully follow us who create their own clothing and who create their own designs and prints. If whoever you are out there who is doing that, watch the VHS of Return of the Living Dead 2. Get to the end, copy the exact prints from the t-shirts that they're trying to sell us, because those fucking designs were incredible.
Yeah.
If
More white
only-
shirts.
And they were
I
all
like the
More
white
white
shirts.
shirts.
Yeah.
The I find like the neon colors look way better on a white shirt.
I agree.
I love
agree.
a white shirt.
I'm also curious, like, if there are some of those original shirts out there still.
I bet you they're like fucking $150
Oh,
each.
my-
Unless you
that.
find it in like some garbage dump,
'Cause they
like,
don't know what they
thrifting
had, yeah.
store, yeah. Well, let's go back to James Karen. Okay.
I don't Karen. I don't
Karen.
Let's give it a
Karen.
shot.
Oh fuck me, you crazy bitch! I'm,
I'm
down
okay.
for it. I'm down
good.
for it.
Oh, well,
Morgan
yeah,
has a
she
family
has
reunion
stuff
tomorrow.
to do tomorrow.
I gotta be alive.
Well, you're drinking your beans and
To be alive.
My
To
beans are
be
done.
alive.
okay, so James Karen.
You can have some of my wine if you want, honey.
Jimmy Karen passed away in 2018 of cardiac arrest.
I gotta mention that during the 25th anniversary, or 25th, our 25th episode, he was still alive.
Yes, that's true.
So he's
That's
passed
true.
away since.
Math.
Yes. Actually, that was in 2018, and so he died a few months after. Our
Oh
episode.
yeah, I do remember that. So he did a lot of television spots, and he got a recurring role in As the World Turns, and he was in Golden Girls. Do you remember? He was Dorothy's boyfriend in an episode. He showed up as Dorothy's date.
She has a few dates, so I'll have to look.
They
up.
all do, don't they?
They all get really fucked a lot for a bunch of 60-year-olds.
Yeah,
I love
my
it.
life goal is to just like become Dorothy, be Arthur, like in
Just
my
be, like,
old age.
tall
I mean, I
and
feel like I'm
sassy
her
and-
now. And he was in that fucking Powers of Matthew Star.
Yes,
with,
he was, with Peanut Barton and Jelly.
Peter Barton and Jelly.
Oh,
yeah.
Peter Barton and Jelly. I thought you
Yeah.
guys were talking about Laverne Barton and Jelly. Oh, wrong sandwich. Sorry.
Wrong sandwich.
But yeah, Peter Barton with Jelly.
Delicious.
Peter Barton with Jelly is a babe. Bobby Briggs is hotter. But James Karen was in The Powers of Matthew Starr, and that's a show that I would watch for that fucking crotch shot. And Because, like, Peter Barton wears, like, a full, like,
He's got,
white,
like, a...
bodysuit, and it's, like...
He looks like he's one of the Bee Gees.
And, yeah, so I guess, like, James Karen wrote a lot of Frank's scenes in the first Return of the Living Dead, and he was actually nominated for a Saturn Award, and then later in 1998, he received an honorary Saturn Award for his contribution to the horror film industry.
Oh, I love that.
Which is very endearing. But let's talk about some of his work. So James Karen, I don't remember this because I've only seen it once. But he was in Hercules in New York.
That's one of the first things I have in my list here of things. Yeah, he was there.
Hercules in New York.
A terrible movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And there's 2 versions of Hercules in New York, and one is the dubbed and one is the original audio. And it was when Arnold first came to America, and his English was so broken that they had to dub it. But I have 2 versions of that movie, and one is the original audio track when Arnold didn't properly like enunciate the English language,
he
and
couldn't
I haven't watched it yet, but I will soon. And James Karen was also in The China Syndrome, which I just watched. Which I just
Did
watched
you watch
because
it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, because of the
I have
Midnight
2
in
things
Chernobyl
to say.
thing, yeah.
One thing, because I'm obsessed with Chernobyl, and that movie came out like right before Chernobyl happened.
I think it was
And
70s, and Chernobyl was.
But no, it was made in the 70s, but it wasn't released in Russia until like the 80s.
Well,
So-
it was something that was in the forefront of everybody's mind because of.
And like
the shit that
when
happened
Chernobyl
there.
happened, like there was a lot of in the early like hours, like
They
a lot
talk
of people
a lot
are like,
about, like,
oh, well,
the
it's
China
just
syndrome.
like the China
Yeah.
syndrome. It's
Because that was a real
propaganda.
concern.
It's not really real.
Yeah, but it was a real concern
And, like,
that it was
meanwhile,
gonna leak into the.
They're like dying
into
of
the groundwater.
radiation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's crazy. But fucking Michael Douglas, like with a beard, hello.
I like Michael
beard.
Douglas.
No,
Nice.
seriously, Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
He
is
has,
hot.
like, a-
not now. He's grandpa.
Yeah,
but
he's like Kirk. He's basically Kirk now. But like, fucking,
Yeah, he
it's
is.
true.
He
But like
is.
Michael Douglas in the China Syndrome, like holy shit!
I gotta look
Like
at this. I gotta
whoa, like long hair, beard. Like I was like, wow. Obviously James Karen, Poltergeist. He's in that fucking stupid. I know you love it, Morgan. That fucking pyramid movie, Time Walker.
Oh, it's not a pyramid movie.
Oh,
bitch!
she comes to his defense.
Like it's fucking. Isn't it like a time traveler?
No!
Like a mummy. or
Hey,
something?
I'll tell you what Time Walker's about.
Okay, Morgan's gonna get into Time Walker.
Man, Time Walker was a fucking badass movie. Please watch it. Okay, so it's about some Egyptologists that are like, oh, we found this fucking mummy. It's really cool.
So pyramids. Go on.
No, not in a pyramid.
Yeah.
Do you know that there was never a mummy found in a pyramid ever?
Just kidding. Good.
It was actually reptile people. The reptilians.
Anyway, so Time Walker is about a fucking Egyptologist guy that finds a mummy and unwraps it, and it's like, oh, it's not a human, it's an alien. So like it's like ancient
pretty
alien
cool.
shit where the alien
That's pretty cool.
That's why you love it.
back in the day. I know I was like, oh my god, my mind is blown. Thank you, Giorgio.
Giorgio
Giorgio
Mone.
Tsoukalos. But yeah, so it's like this alien mummy guy. They find it, but like it comes back to life, and it does like alien mummy shit.
Girl,
As an alien mummy
you're
shit.
gonna have to elaborate what the fuck alien
I
mummies
thought
do.
it was great. I
It's
enjoyed
It's
it
on Prime, right?
thoroughly.
I'm pretty sure it's on
I
Prime.
think I watched it on Tubi, but I do have a VHS copy as well. It's. I thought it was really fun.
I should watch
actually
it again.
love that
Like I
cover.
didn't
Watch it
hate
again.
it when I watched it, but I just thought that it was like kind of uneventful.
The end is the best part. Obviously, they saved up the budget for the end.
That's awesome. Well, James Cameron is in it. James Cameron.
James Cameron has really done a lot of good
He's
stuff.
in, like Time Walker,
Titanic,
and
Time Walker,
so
yeah.
also James
Time
Cameron.
Walker.
Time
So Jimmy, I'm just gonna
Walker.
call him Jimmy. That's what his friends call him.
Hey,
and
Jimmy.
I have a question for you, sluts.
Okay.
Because I think you've never seen it, but have you all watched Invaders from Mars?
Invaders from Mars. Hold on.
Toby Hooper.
I know. No, I haven't.
Oh my fucking god.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, I know, like, the poster
I know
for me is
the movie, of course. I don't think I've
iconic.
seen
It's so fucking
Invaders
good.
from Mars post, but no,
It's
I've never.
so good. It's like, but it's funny because during the entire movie, all they do is yell the main kid's name, David Gardner. Like the entire movie.
David Gardner!
David Gardner, like the entire fucking movie. But it's great. Like the special effects is incredible. And he's also in Wall Street
Ooh, that's
with
good.
Michael
Yes.
Douglas
Incredible.
again. And that's a fucking great
Hey, can
fucking
I just
movie.
be like, hey,
Dude, seriously, Michael
China
Douglas.
Syndrome?
Hello.
I would.
It was a really,
I'm
really,
sorry.
really good
If-
movie.
There's probably would be a lot of cocaine.
If you're a
involved, I
freak
would.
like me and you love Chernobyl,
Don't you wish
gotta
your
watch
girlfriend
it.
was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Don't ya?
I remember that.
Don't ya?
I know things. He's also in The Willies. He's also in Future Shock.
I did know that. Yes.
That's a movie that I need to watch again.
should watch it
I
again.
have it, but
Future,
also he's in Mulholland Drive very quickly, and James Karen is in Seinfeld.
Oh yes, he was Dr. Bookman. Was he
No,
Bookman?
No.
Oh.
He was in Puerto Rico Day episode, the very second last
What?
episode of the
Oh,
entire
I know
series.
Puerto Rico Day, but who the fuck was he in Puerto Rico Day?
Remember when Elaine decides to like abandon
She gets
the
out.
car?
Yeah. She
and
gets
then
out. She gets
like,
into a taxi.
and then she gets out,
Yeah.
and then she decides to like usher like a bunch of people to go under the bleachers. James Karen is one of the people that she's like, come on guys, we can like go under
And
here
then they
because
hit a
there's, like,
wall.
parade, like the
Yeah.
Puerto Rican parade, and they're like stuck in the car. And James Karen is one of the guys that goes under the bleachers with Elaine.
Right, and she leads them to a dead end.
So speaking of Seinfeld,
Devastating.
it's like absurd that we've recorded this long and we haven't talked about Seinfeld yet, because there are a lot of Seinfeld references. Suzanne Snyder, who plays Brenda in real life, she's a yoga teacher. She's also a uncredited cheerleader in The Last Starfighter. That's a movie that gave me nightmares when I was a child. She's also in Weird Science, which is my favorite John Hughes movie, along with Breakfast Club. And she's also in TJ Hooker, and she's in a show in Remo Williams. So there's like a scene in Remo Williams when Fred Ward is like watching a show and she's like in the show. So it was like a
Weird.
meta character, I guess. She's also in Night of the Creeps,
She's in Seinfeld. Who is she in Seinfeld?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I'm
We've
dying
talked
to
about
know.
this. Seinfeld, she's in 2 episodes.
Okay.
The Pie.
Yep. Is she the
Pie.
girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay, yep.
She's like
Poppy's niece.
Poppy's niece.
Yes. Yeah.
And she's also in the limo episode, but she plays a different character. But she's in the limo. When that fucking crazy Russian is in the fucking limo with them.
Yeah.
And he's like, and Elaine is like, war. What is it good for?
What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
But Suzanne Snyder, I gotta say, she has a very gorgeous face. I think that she embodies like the perfect like dimple 80s like mark. I don't know. There's something about her face that's very distinguishable from that decade, that she was just perfect to be cast in like the girlfriend role in a lot of 80s movies. Like a fucking, even like Weird Science. Like that was a huge movie. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I think she's gorgeous. I just like, she has like a very like perfect like features, like dimples and teeth, hair, eyes.
She's got eyes. She's got 2
eyes.
arms
Yeah.
and 2 legs.
I think she's gorgeous. I think she's really
maybe
pretty.
I'd remember her better if she had a big swinging dick.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
All
kind of what
she's
I'm
got
into.
is big
She might have
swinging-
teeth and she might
She's
have eyes,
got
but
swinging labia. That's what she's
Big
got.
swinging flaps.
she ain't got no big dick. I probably won't remember her.
But the kid in
Yeah, we should talk about him real quick.
Michael Kenworthy,
Oh, yeah.
who plays Jesse, he started acting when he was 5, and he's been over 135
He's been in everything.
commercials. Like,
He's been in
that's
everything.
crazy. And he was the first and only child actor who turned down Aaron Spelling.
Yeah, I found that a lot of his Wikipedia, like whoever wrote his Wikipedia, he probably hired someone to do it. But it was all very much like, oh, here was all his missed opportunities.
I like that he turned down Aaron Spelling, though, because Aaron Spelling was very like, "Ugh, how dare you say no to me?
The way that it was
Your
sort of
career
written
is
was
over.
like, oh, Aaron Spelling quashed his career after that. But it's like, maybe like you just like kind of turned down like 2 of the biggest roles you possibly could have, and then everybody was like, we kind of just don't want to work with you anymore.
And you know what? You gotta appreciate that, because especially when I'm like watching a whole bunch of sitcoms from the 90s and 80s and stuff like that, or commercials and stuff, and you know, I see Sarah Jessica Parker did like a stupid commercial when she was a kid, and it was for something stupid, and it was all very like Courtney Cox did it. She was the first in the first Tampax commercial. It might not have been Tampax, don't quote me, but Courtney Cox was for sure in the first tampon commercial.
Was this before she did the Bruce Springsteen video?
I don't know.
It's probably
But I
around
do.
that
It was her first. It was her first thing, and they talked about women's anatomy. Like, it wasn't like, hey, buy tampons. It was like, hey, what's your flow like? Like, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So so it's like, if you're bringing it back around to this, if you're going to turn down someone like Aaron Spelling, I get what you're saying, Morgan. Maybe other people were like, I'm not even going to fuck with you then. If you're going to be that much of a prude, like, you have to pay your dues. You have to go through the shitty tampon commercials to get to Friends. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're going to turn down Aaron Spellings, who's offering you the chance of a lifetime, people might be
It
like...
was Brian Austin Green's character
Yeah, like, so
on
he was-
I Know
he
You
was
Want
Which is
to.
a big deal.
That was a
Yeah.
fucking huge deal.
After that, people might have been like, I don't know who you think you are, but you probably should have taken that role, because
Yeah.
it was a gift.
Yeah.
You kicked the gift horse in the mouth.
He was like, I just want to go to college.
He also turned
sure.
down the role of Ben Seaver on Growing Pains.
But that's
I
the
did
thing,
read
right?
that
Yeah.
too.
It's like...
So it's like,
but
those
what
are
you're
like
saying,
2 huge fucking
people
roles.
might after
that's
that...
Alan Thicke.
No, Ben Seaver was
No, I mean, was Alan Thicke in Growing Pains?
yeah, it was,
Yeah.
and the
Canadian
the Jesus guy,
legend,
fucking,
Alan Thicke.
What's his name? Kirk Cameron.
He made that singer who's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His son.
Yes, Robin.
Robin Thicke.
That awful.
I just
George
remember
Line
when
song.
Robin.
Robin.
What's this dad's name again? It's just
Alan.
fucking Alan Thicke. Remember when he introduced like the opening of the Sky Dome in Toronto, and like, wasn't it like a shit show?
I probably wasn't born then, you fucking old witches.
I
know,
remember when City TV broadcast it, and yeah, he did that, and they had like some singing and some dancing. I don't think it was a shit show. It was just like weird. Like, it was a stadium. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, sing
Maybe
about,
I, like-
sing about it?
Maybe I have like a weird, like, fond, like, memory of a dream where like the ice melted in the hockey rink or something like that. I just remember like that being a huge deal, and it was so like wah wah.
Well,
It wasn't
yeah,
that great.
It was the Sky Dome,
Yeah. Who gives a shit?
Who fucking cares?
right?
Yeah.
My only regret is not seeing Pavarotti at the Sky Dome.
Oh my god.
Guys, can I tell you that I wanted to see Pavarotti for my 12th birthday at the Sky Dome? I begged my parents for Pavarotti tickets.
That's adorable.
Like a loser!
Leonardo Pavarotti? That Pavarotti? Leonardo. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't. Never mind.
No, the motherfucking opera singer, bitch!
Yeah, I know. I thought his name was Leonardo. Pavarotti liked Italian cheese. I think I sung about him in grade 5.
You made a song about him?
No, I think I learned
Luciano.
Luciano. What I call him
is
again?
his name.
Luciano
Close enough.
Pavarotti
Close
liked
enough.
Italian cheese. Something, 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 something. Don't forget to sneeze. I learned about that in choir practice in grade 5. You guys didn't go to Catholic schools. You don't know what it was like. You don't know what it was like.
I went to Catholic school for 5 years.
Indoctrination.
I know.
Well, then you learned about Leonardo Pavarotti.
Well, I
or
guess
whatever the fuck his
Edmonton,
name-
Alberta didn't fucking give a shit about Pavarotti. Because I didn't know this, but I appreciate you because I love
Who cares about
knowledge.
the Sky Dome? Who fucking cares about the fucking Sky
Now
Dome?
it's the
Who gives
Rogers
a
Center.
fuck about about Alan Thicke?
Holy shit.
More
more like
Alan
Alan Finn.
Boom, boom, boom. What?
If he had a thick dick, we'd know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have done porn by now for sure.
With a name like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Michael Kenworthy,
right.
aka Jesse, was the only other movie that I know him from is The Blob.
Right.
Jesse's girl.
Jesse's in the Blob.
No, what's this?
There
Thank you,
are
Morgan.
some interesting characters, like side characters in Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Like, for example, we missed it, but Forrest J. Ackerman is a zombie, and his zombie name is Harvey, but Forrest J. Ackerman, you know who he is, right? He's
I
like
have
the
no
founder of,
fucking
like,
idea.
you know, Famous Monsters, the magazine?
Okay.
He's like the founder
Oh,
of
well, so
Famous
he just got
Monsters.
the gig because he was like, I want to be in this movie.
But get this though, because he's like a huge deal in like science fiction world of like the 50s, and Ken Wiederhorn, when they were filming, he didn't know who he was, and like all the other cast and crew were like,
losing their mind.
this guy is like a legend. Like, how do you not know? But they were like, but like Ken's not a horror fan. He wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And then like there was a moment in the documentary that I just watched where all the cast were like, remember when Ken asked Forrest J. Ackerman to take his glasses off for the scene? And everybody was like, that's like his signature look.
That's like telling Jim Jones to take his glasses.
Yeah, like they were
don't
like,
do
you're a
that.
fucking idiot, Ken. No, Forrest J. Ackerman has to keep his glasses on because he's like a huge deal in like the science fiction world. And Mitch Pileggi.
Yeah, he's the one army guy in it. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like a couple army dudes, and Mitch Pileggi. Skinner doesn't need an introduction.
Skinner!
Does not need an introduction, but Mitch Pileggi, he plays the Sarge. He is. We're not gonna like go into X-Files. Everybody like knows who Skinner is. Everybody knows Shocker, but like let's talk about like his like non-Shocker X-Files work. And he's in Death Wish 4. And I didn't know this because I've only seen Death Wish 1 and 3, but I need to watch part 2 because Jimmy Page fucking scored it.
I know, and I keep meaning to bring that.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, do we care about Death Wish 4?
Well, now I do because I want to fucking see
Right,
Skinner in
but
it.
before then, did we care about Death Wish 4?
No, but I care
The Charles
now.
Bronson motherfucker?
Yeah.
Well, I know. I just mean like typically, like
But
I know
I
1, 2,
love
3.
Mitch
I know
Pileggi.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and I've never seen part 2, and I really want to watch it because Jimmy Page did this fucking soundtrack, and I had no idea until I read Hammer of the Gods. But Mitch Pileggi is also in Basic Instinct. Perfect movie. Vampire in Brooklyn.
Perfect movie.
Do you remember Mitch Pileggi? He's like wearing like a stupid like purple like pink like suit. He's like a gangster, and Eddie Murphy just like fucking kills him. It's great. Have you seen Vampire in Brooklyn, Morgan?
He pulled the flip flop shit on me.
Oh, it's so good. It's
I don't think
so good.
I just
You
know
have to watch
that
it.
You'll love it.
Eddie Murphy has a mullet in it.
Yeah, but
Oh,
the guy
so
from
good.
the Wayne's Brothers show is in it. So the guy who plays the uncle in the Wayne's Brothers show.
What, like Living Color?
No, the Wayne's Brothers show. They had their own show.
Like after?
Like in the 90s, they had their own show, the Wayne's Brothers show. He's like the quirky drunk guy in it.
Okay.
He put the flip flop shit on me. Flip flop, because he turns into a
I'll let
bat.
you
Ah,
it's
you know
so
what?
Yeah,
It's
it's
really
great.
great.
It's so
really
good.
great.
And I
what's her
totally
name's
forgot.
in it? She's a fucking
Angela Bassett.
babe.
She's a fucking queen.
Angela Bassett does not age.
Dude, seriously, you gotta watch Vampire in Brooklyn. I totally forgot that Mitch Pileggi was in it. And he's also in Stargate Atlantis.
I
have not
read the story.
gone into the Stargate show yet. I do love the movie, but there's just too much of the show. There's Stargate, there's SG-1,
Isn't Scott
Stargate
Bakula in
Atlantis.
Stargate?
No, he's Enterprise.
But there's literally like 10 years of Stargate. Like I remember
no
my
more.
parents
It's
watching
like
it.
20 years.
Well,
dude.
the
Like, there's
first,
so
I mean, the
many
first show
different-
itself, I'm
So
pretty sure it was like 10 seasons.
SG-1 is like fucking 10 seasons, and then there's like Atlantis, and there's Renegade. There's like a bunch of different fucking Stargate
And I want to get into them
shows.
because I feel
So do
like
I.
the sci-fi aspect. It was like I remember my parents loving the
MacGyver.
show.
for real cannot do bad work.
Incredible
but
shit.
also Mitch Pileggi, I just want to mention really quickly, is in Supernatural. I like that show. Supernatural, Team Dean. Nobody here agrees with me because they don't watch Supernatural.
The one with Sam and Dean. Oh, I learned that from Supernatural with Sam and Dean. They threw the demons in a box and they put them on the ocean.
Put them in the ocean. Mitch Pileggi is Sam and Dean's grandfather, and Crowley resurrects him, and so he can like fight with his grandsons.
Crowley, like,
not Aleister Crowley.
okay.
Fuck that guy.
No, it is. It's Aleister Crowley, Morgan. That's who it is.
I mean, if
That's
he was,
exactly
like, a
who it
fictional
is.
character in the show, like,
They use the name, but the Crowley in Supernatural is way cooler than Aleister Crowley.
is he?
Yeah, Aleister Crowley's a fucking loser. All he did was do heroin and see ghosts in caves.
I mean, that.
Heroin's the lamest of the drugs.
I mean, like, if you want to start a religion and go see fucking talk to ghosts in caves, then go right ahead. But Supernatural, great show. I will always stand by it. And also, Mitch Pileggi was in, I did not know this. I did not know that they made a new Dallas.
Yeah, they
Did you know
but-
this?
Yeah, I
What?
did, but it didn't do well.
But did you also know that Patrick Duffy is also in it? So he's in both?
In the reboot.
What?
Yeah.
He's in the reboot.
Yeah. Patrick Duffy is in the reboot as well as the original.
fuck?
But Mitch Pileggi is in the reboot, and I had no idea. And I was like, well, should I watch it? Because I like the original Dallas.
But it was only 2 seasons. Are they going to be able to do the story?
Oh, is it? Oh, I had
think
no
it was
idea.
only 2 seasons,
I
yeah.
had no idea. But we got sidetracked. The Doc came on the screen. Phil Bruns,
Yeah.
who plays the Doc in Return of the Living Dead Part 2, he is the original Morty Seinfeld.
Oh, yes. So, in like the first
yes,
2 episodes.
Seinfeld
3 episodes.
fucking
yes.
fans. The first like few episodes of like the very first season of Seinfeld, Morty and Frank were different actors. Like the original Frank Costanza wasn't Jerry Stiller.
Really?
Yeah, but like the original Morty was the fucking Doc.
Really?
From Return of the Living
cool.
Dead Part 2.
That's cool.
And he's also in this movie called Corvette Summer that I really want to buy. With Mark Hamill
Okay.
and what's her name? Patty, whatever her name is from Ghostbuster. Janine.
Oh, Janine.
Ghostbuster. Yeah, Patty something. She is also in this movie with Phil Bruns, but Phil Bruns, the Doc, is also in Digital Man.
Digital Man was rotten. It looked like Putin. Like,
Why
Vladimir Putin as a Terminator is exactly what Digital Man is.
So the Doc.
Putin as a Terminator.
He's in Digital Man with Putin, and he's also in Baywatch Nights.
Oh,
The Colonel, the other army guy, his name in the movie is Colonel Glover. He's played by Jonathan Terry.
Jonathan Terry Thomas?
Yeah, JTT. JTT, he's also in Part 1, and he's also
JTT.
in Halloween
happened to my
3.
guy.
He's one of the guys that like works at the factory
Oh.
of the masks of the evil, and he's also in that fucking Corvette Summer movie. But so Frank from Return of the Living Dead Part 2 is played by Terrence Riggins, and he is in Seinfeld as well. He's in the puffy shirt episode.
Who is he?
He is like the stage manager when Jerry goes on the show. And
Very
he's
small
also
part.
in Candyman and What's Love Got to Do with It? That's a fucking movie that is also Angela Bassett, right?
Yes, Angela Bassett as well.
Yeah.
Incredible shit.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up.
With a shot?
Yeah,
we're gonna wrap
let's
this up
with a shot.
with a shot.
One more. Pour me some.
What do you want? You want some of that?
Pour some Whitney on me.
Shitney.
In the name of shots!
Did you guys have fun? Did you like this recording? Megan is farting. I can see her
They're
body.
all so quiet.
I can
though.
see your body moving in the fart motion.
The thong just...
Pour it into your drink.
I don't know if I can do this or if I'm...
A little halfy.
All right,
Just
I'll
do
do
a
a
little
halfy.
halfy.
Because I'm fucking...
Guys, we're drunk.
Yeah, I'm drunk, so...
This is
Well,
crazy.
okay, so we tried to call that number, and it didn't work, but we made an attempt. And I hope you enjoy it. And I hope all of our listeners continue to follow and listen. I literally have nothing else to say.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. Have an excellent life.
Have a good life,
Have a good
motherfuckers.
life, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for sticking with us, and
We have to
cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Peace out, Brussels sprout. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Go fuck yourselves.